Good evening and welcome. It is Wednesday, which means it is One Shot Wednesdays here on GrowedUpGeek Gaming. We thank you for joining us tonight. Um, yeah, let's just go ahead and put it out there. So we are doing a level 15 one shots, which between the six individuals involved in tonight, I believe account for 3 sessions maybe of level 15 play. Dungeon Master accounting for zero. Um, as a result, we're going to be running a written one shot from Candlekeep Mysteries, Alkazar's Apprentice, the level 15 one shot written by Adam Lee, I believe. So, this is our Wednesday show. Our chance to kind of switch up the stories. Long term campaigns can be hard on dungeon masters and players. They're a big commitment, keeps people from playing Dungeons and Dragons. We don't want to do that, so we did this, where Dungeon Masters can show up, do a quick two-story thing, be done with it. We can switch out players. Everybody can play with new people. I get to Dungeon Master for new people. It is a pretty sweet deal. So, with that being said, I am your Dungeon Master Manny at GrowedUpGeek on the social medias. Tonight, before we get started, we will meet our players. A couple you have seen before. Three returning faces, two from long-term campaigns, one from our first one-shot series, and two new people who we're excited to see tonight. And so we will start with the new blood up in the upper corner. Porter, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and a rough idea of your character for the evening.
Well, yeah, I'm Porter. I work with kids. I love D&D. I'm super excited to be here. I'm playing a tiefling paladin of redemption named Shawshank. And yeah, yeah, that's pretty much
All right, awesome. I'm going to try not to do my red Andy Dufresne
it.
things throughout this thing, but I'm going to try. I'm not going to promise. All right, let's go down to the bottom right corner and let's take Nick for the block. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Nick. My character is Patterson. He is a Warforged sorcerer slash warlock. I've played this same character once before, but it was also just on a one shot, and I didn't really know what I was doing. So it'll be fun to play a sorcerer warlock with a little bit more power this time.
And it's what, 13 sorcerer, 2 warlock? You took the warlock dip?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm interested. I think you're the only one that took a multi-class, yeah? From everybody? Yeah? All right. Yeah, that's going to be cool. You always read about him, and so now we're just going to actually see it go crazy in 2 spell slots, my ass. Let's move upstairs from Nick, who to one of our returning one-shot players, who played Ernest the Monk, who, like one is wont to do, fell in love with the wrong girl at a wedding. Back today with a ranger. So go ahead and tell us about Lawrence.
Laraunce is a
Lawrence.
Furbolg, Ranger of the Feywild, and he's a character I've played before. His backstory is that his corner of the Feywild was taken over by a dark shadow, destroying his home and family, and now he kind of wanders the material plane, seeking a way to to restore all the things that he lost. Um, I'm playing him a little bit differently. I gave him the poison feat, so I'm going to play around with that, and I'm looking forward to getting him back onto the table and into combat.
It sounds like Shrek X Kung Fu. Kicked out of his Feywild and walks the earth. What do you mean walks the earth? It's exactly what I said, Vincent. Walks the earth.
Get out of my
Kung Fu
Fey.
Legend continues?
Yeah. They got a word for that, Jules. It's called a bum. All right. Let's move over to the West Side Tower in the garden level with our favorite artificer gnome on Tuesday nights, and today a creepy necromancer. Yeah.
Yes, so Orin comes back to the land of the living and then now decided to play a reborn necromancer named Morlok. Um, he has, because he's reborn, because he's undead, he doesn't have the greatest of memories from before, but he is evil but he knows he doesn't want to be put to death by those around him. So he's definitely lawful. So he won't do anything against the law. Anything he does is for his own benefit. So he's just trying to survive and gain more power.
A unique evil aligned character who believes he's right in his own head. Controversial take. I like it. And finishing up in the bottom potentially, our kind of resident monk on 2 of the 3 shows we play on together, playing not a monk today.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, I actually thought about playing a monk. I am Lewis. I'll be playing Kephalos, who is a forge cleric of Purphoros from the Theros universe.
Oops.
And I'm excited to play cleric. I've usually only played fighters or monks, so I am excited to play something different.
All right. Cool. That's our outstanding cast. Full disclosure, in the lead up to this one shot, when we did character creation, I may have given the players kind of the keys to the kingdom with magic items. So this is part like wish fulfillment for them. Everybody wants to play a high level character with all this magic shit who does all this cool stuff. And if I have to suffer for it, then by all means I'm willing to do that, because I want to see it. Like, let's be real. So let's begin our level 15 car crash in slow motion, Alkazaar's Appendix, here on GrowedUpGeek Gaming. So it is a beautiful and crisp autumn afternoon in Faerun, outside of the famed Candlekeep Depository of Knowledge Wizarding School, and by most accounts, things that need not be spoken of, and many things hopefully forgotten within the walls and the bowels of the structure. In the Court of Air, kind of just within the outer walls, a party of 5 adventurers stands and waits expectantly as they received a notice for established parties of adventurers sought by Candlekeep to investigate mysteries kind of over the heads of the scholars and wizards of Candlekeep. So the party, a well-established and pretty prominent party, a level 15, has been sought by the lore keepers and archmages of Candlekeep to investigate some of the more serious mysteries, and this one being a serious matter and almost a dire one. They have summoned a significant and well-renowned party of level 15 adventurers. In the kind of open air court stands we'll start with Porter. Go ahead and give me like a real description of your character and what they would be doing, just kind of hanging out waiting for someone to arrive.
So Shawshank is, like I said, a tiefling. He's got like dark reddish purple skin, 2 pretty large horns that go back. He's in full plate armor, highly decorated. The strange thing about him is that he's got 2 just full angelic, majestic angel wings protruding from his back, that he got from somewhere. I think the things that he would be doing here are like looking for people to talk to, anybody who seems like they're not busy, or if there's nobody else around, probably like maintaining his equipment.
Okay. All right. Next to him, or at least really close by, we will go to Landon and tell us about Morlok. And like I said, and what he's doing while he waits for whatever they've been instructed to wait for.
As a reborn, Morlok definitely has like a disfigured face, like you can tell he's like an undead. So being out in public, he does not show any of that. He's hooded. He doesn't, let people see his skin, so he's got gloves on and stuff. But as for what he's doing, he is playing with insects. He's having bugs, right? And he's just playing with them. They're like living in his skin, I guess. I don't know.
All right, man. All right.
That like scene from where the Grim Reaper like lets out his hand and the bugs crawl all over it.
Or
That's
just like,
kind of what's going on.
Dude, anytime I see a bug crawl out of something's mouth, like that's a rat for me.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of a god complex. So like, he really just likes the feeling of the power he has. Like, I could crush you in an instant, but I'll let you live. Worship me. That kind of thing.
All right, cool. We're 10 minutes into this and you already creeped me out. Fabulous. All right. Standing also nearby, waiting for whatever he was summoned for from his regular gig. Lord, Liz, tell us about our cleric.
You're gonna see a very tall, very tan man come from a forge, and you're gonna see black smoke just rolling from the forge itself, and you're just gonna see him emerge covered in soot, almost like black with soot. And he's gonna come out and just yell, "It's done! I have finally finished it!" And just walk towards the group. And I told you I would finish it. It is done.
As you come out screaming, a bunch of the kind of scholars making their way through the courtyard. Shh.
I don't care. It is done.
All right. Many discerning looks from the kind of scholars of the facility. And next, let's go to Laraunce and what they're doing and what they look like.
So Laraunce is a very tall, almost 7.5 feet furbolg, which is not unusual for them, but this might be the first time you've encountered one. He has vibrant green eyes, a bluish-gray skin, and very long ears with gray and white tufts of fur at the end of them, and a big white-gray bushy beard that goes almost like halfway down his chest. He's wearing leather armor. Has a array of different pieces of equipment on his back. One of those pieces of equipment strapped to him is a small chest that's kind of like on his hip, almost latched there on a belt. And Laraunce is kind of keeping to himself. I wonder what we're in store for. He kind of opens up this little kit, and inside the kit is a green vial with a clear vial with a glowing green liquid inside of it, and he begins pulling arrows from the back of from his quiver strung across his back, dipping them in the bottle, and then returning them to the quiver and drawing a new one.
All right.
Morlok sneaks up on you and says, "Ooh, is that poison I smell?"
Stay back. This stuff is highly volatile.
It's a library.
I like experimenting with poisons.
Well,
You should visit the lab. I can let you show me the effects of the poison on some of my subjects.
perhaps that won't be necessary with what they have in store for us here at Candlekeep.
Very well then.
It's a library, y'all. I'm just saying. All right. All right. Hopefully the warlock sorcerer isn't creepy or weird. Patterson, maybe bring some normalcy to this group. What do you look like? What are you doing?
Patterson is a bronzed warforge looks a little bit and has kind of the stance a little bit of a tree C3PO, kind of stands around a little prancy, and is just watching this in fascination, not really doing much.
All right. Thank you for giving me a droid to default to in my head, because if not, you were going to end up being Gold Bender in my head. So you are what, Tree C3PO? Is that the image I'm supposed to go with?
Tree-PO, yeah.
Okay, cool, good. Look, man, you just got to help me here. All right. So our intrepid, well-renowned, I don't know who hires you weirdos to do things for them, kind of stand around. There seems to be, not much activity. Kephalos would know, as the kind of forge master of the outer section of the library. And after a couple of moments, what you know to be called the Emerald Door, a large set of 15-foot tall double doors of this kind of translucent green rock, that basically separates the outer portion of Candlekeep from the library proper. The section that you've all been in is pretty much open to the public-ish. But to make it past the Emerald Doors, you have to be invited and most likely escorted by some member of the faculty at the library. And as the doors open for the first time since you've been standing there, out from behind it, from the distance, about 60, 70 feet, you see a very kind of tall, thin wizard with a slightly dark complexion that the more worldly and traveled amongst you would recognize was from Chult. Black hair, tightly cropped beard, and robes that look like the plumage of like a parrot. Very bright, very vivid, made of linen. Somebody who knows how to dress where it is warm. And he kind of confidently saunters up to you, and as he gets closer, you realize he's really young. He's probably 22, 23 years old. Steps forth. Good evening, or good afternoon. I forget sometimes. I am Algernon Altano, Archmage of Candlekeep, and I welcome you and thank you for coming in these extenuating circumstances. We like to handle things on our own if possible, and as the wise and learned people that we are, we have no problem calling out to those to help us when we need it. And if you don't mind, if we could keep moving, we need to walk and talk so that I can get you to your reading room and we can set you about your ways. Does anybody have any questions? And before anybody can answer, he's already turned around and is walking back into the inner portions of the campus, and just kind of continues to talk.
Wonder what we did to earn their trust going beyond the Emerald Door.
Maybe it was all the screaming. Have you guys been in a library before? Where did you even find a forge, man?
I create them. It's part of who I am.
That is the wildest thing I've ever heard.
It is.
Stick around. You'll see even wilder things.
It's very interesting.
As he kind of turns and keeps walking after your quick little exchange, you realize that he's moved on quite a little distance and has just continued to talk, completely unaware that you did not follow him instantly. As you kind of catch up, just as you cross through the Emerald Door. Yes, so let me give you the exact situation, if you will follow me. So we, the scribes of the Candlekeep Library, have unearthed a series of rare books that had escaped our attention for many years. The one in question today, Alkazaar's Appendix, tells the story of a epic Netherese artifact once thought to be in the possession of a prince of a lost city in the desert. Upon inspection of this book, we come to find out that the key to open the vault of this artifact lies within a golem that has been called the Wandering Golem. However, to know. We believe the book will take you to this golem, and that you must help it find its master and recover the Netherese artifact. I would warn any of you, and he's going to look at Patterson and at Morlok particularly. I would warn all those involved to leave the artifact alone and to not inquire further as to what it can do.
Morlok just kind of takes a step back and starts just kind of sulking. He doesn't really say anything. He just kind of like lowers his head, kind of sulking.
You'll
pat him on
you'll
the
hear
shoulder.
Kephalos. You'll hear Kephalos pipe up and go. So what is exactly we're doing then?
The golem lies in the middle of the Anurok Desert, and we know that forsaken place to be the home of many mighty creatures that we believe to be more the realm of adventurers such as yourselves, and not the realm of scholars such as ourselves. And the whole time he's leading you through just secret corridor and kind of tucked behind doorway that for as long as you've been walking and as much as you've heard this place is a library, you have yet to see book one. They have purposefully seeming to have escorted you not near any of the collections of books for whatever reason.
Do we know about this desert and where we are in relation to it geographically?
You are going to be in the... It's basically going to be due east of where Candlekeep is in miles. I don't know, a couple hundred.
A lot.
Yeah, it's in the kind of 5th edition.
In the Anurok Desert.
Yeah, it's all the way
the far right side of Faerun.
And as far as Wizards of the Coast exists for 5th edition, it is the end of the Earth, despite it being like 2/3 of the way through the continent. But we're not going to get into that. But if on most Sword Coast maps of 5th edition, it's basically like the end of the world on the far east of the map, and it's just this big, vast, just desert. It's awful. It's hot, miserable, sandy, Tatooine, all that. Anakin Skywalker not going to be there. And there are stories of potentially a rivalry of things seeking this artifact that, and he kind of steps back and kind of looks at everybody, kind of tinks Patterson in the metal, see what's going on with that. As yourselves should be able to attend to. And he keeps
We're the first group of adventurers being sent on behalf of Candlekeep to recover this artifact.
For this artifact, yes. We have many artifacts of varying rarity and power we are currently in search of. Perhaps maybe next week at the same time we will be searching for more. And this called for adventurers such as yourselves of renown and power for what we know to be out in the desert.
Well, if there's a other group of adventurers chasing down this artifact, how do you expect us to beat them there with the distance we're expected to travel?
There are
We
no
crush them.
There are no others seeking this artifact. We feel it is unfair as a way of reclaiming payment should you succeed if we were to undercut ourselves by hiring multiple parties. And as far as the travel goes, for we are in Candlekeep, distances are trivial. And still through corridors, through like every little back alley. Having seen the building from the outside and how vast it is, you are still impressed that you can go as long as you have through this structure and still not have seen a book.
Not surprising that they're keeping us away from the collection. We haven't done much to impress them yet.
So after he finally gets to these rooms that seem to be like this big, large kind of grand room, and then these 4 almost pods in each corner, he opens one up, and inside is a large desk, a couple of chairs, and a tiny little like leather-bound book about this big. And on the cover, embossed in like a really nice gold, it says Alkazaar's Appendix. This is the book in question. It's really quite simple. Read through the book, and at the end, you'll see. Upon completion of the task, we ask that somebody reissue the command word, and he kind of boom, 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 boom hits you with a little enchantment. Candlekeep reading room number 4 should return you right here when you are successful. If you return before the end, we cannot place you where you returned from, only wherever the journey takes you. That makes sense? You can come back at any time, but they won't put, if you have to go back again, you have to start all the way back to the beginning.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Gotcha. Real quick before any of us read it, could I do Divine Sense to see if I get bad vibes from this book?
Sure.
Sweet.
For the first time, you'll hear what sounds like heavy footfalls, and Kephalos will pipe up. What the hell took so long? I didn't create you to be slow. And everybody looks, and entering the room is an iron golem with a giant emblem on his chest, engraved with a giant bronze plate with a symbol that looks like this, with a circle in the middle of the crescents, and it is a bronze emblem, and throughout the metalwork in the iron golem's bottle, you see bronze and gold filigree throughout it.
He's going to just kind of look at Patterson and look at whatever the hell this thing is. Machines everywhere. So how does Divine Sense work? What is it? You have to roll for anything, or just one of those?
Nope, it just anything within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. Oh, I guess it says creatures. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Okay.
It says I know the location of celestial fiend or undead, but if this is not that, then
Anybody with any touch of the arcane would sense the book as containing something magical, but not like being overwhelmingly powerful or inspiring any kind of dread. It's just, yeah, it's got some magic in it, but nothing big. Algernon kind of, if there is nothing else and if you are sufficiently prepared, just remember Candlekeep Reading Room number 4 when you return with the artifact, and the payment for successful completion is the granting of 1 pre-approved wish spell by our scholars here at the library. I bid you...
Morlok has rotted out mouth, like in a smile.
Each?
Each. Pre-approved. You don't just ask for something and they give it to you. They're responsible wizards who are going to give this away. So, but
Either way, that's nice.
yeah. I thought it'd be a cool way just to see whatever you guys wanted your character to kind of be beyond this thing. So, so now that you know, just in case, think about it. So you kind of, if you have everything that you need, I wish you the best of luck, and we hope to see you return with the artifact, and all of you to survive. Good luck. And he kind of turns and never exposes his back to anybody and slowly backs out of the room and locks the door.
Well, all right then.
So yeah, it's just one big table,
we start.
5 chairs, and just the book. Like I said, it's very tiny. It's leather bound. It looks old as hell.
Can I take this time to I've got the feat inspiring leader.
Okay.
Just before we dive into this book, just give a 10-minute all right guys, so we're going into a place we've never been before, but we've got this, and just give a little pep talk. And everybody has, what is it, 15? 20 temporary hit points.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
20?
Yeah.
20. I'll also cast, what is that spell? Aid? I'll cast Aid, so your maximum hit points and current hit points each go up by 5.
Wow.
8 hours.
How long does that last?
8 hours.
I think it's, yeah.
Wow. Cool.
So
we haven't
the
even rolled
max
any
HP
dice, and you
goes up
guys are already
5,
harder to kill.
You said?
What was that?
You said max HP goes up 5?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are already getting buffed to shit. We haven't even done anything yet.
I am going to spend a few minutes, or I would have spent the last 10 minutes, covering myself with the oil of slipperiness.
All right. Okay.
So I would have grabbed the book and started reading, I guess.
Okay. As you skim through the book, it sounds, or it reads like the first-hand account of somebody investigating the story that Algernon told you. That basically in the fall of Netherese and the kind of scattering of Netherese artifacts, this one scroll came into the possession of a prince in the desert. He knew what he had and built an incredibly secure vault and hid the key inside of a golem that accompanied him for his entire life. The golem ended up kind of being seen all over the desert, and despite being pretty sure that the key is in the golem somehow, the location of the vault was the kind of disputed thing, and that the great adventurer and explorer Alkazaar, this was his big thing that he wanted to achieve, and at no point did he believe he was close. The Wizards of Candlekeep have made some notes in it, and they believe that the location of the golem currently is relatively close to where the vault lies. They have asked you to secure the golem, escort it to the vault, open the vault, and grab the artifact and return to the Candlekeep library. As you get towards the end of the book, you feel like your eyes are very dry. You, in your heavy armor, feel very warm and are getting sweaty. And almost in like the blink of an eye, you all go from being inside one of the reading rooms at Candlekeep to the middle of the sun-drenched desert in the day. Bright sun, blowing sand. It is brutally hot, and you find yourself kind of on this wind-swept kind of drift of sand. I don't know if sand drift is a thing. Dune?
Sand dune, yeah.
A sand dune is just a snow drift in the desert, yeah? That's the story?
Exactly.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Cool. I learned something. All right. So a sand dune, at the top of the sand dune, and off in the distance, you hear this kind of guttural grunting and this sound like something kind of banging into something hard, solid, stone or something off in the distance. And players, what do you do?
Can we see it?
If you kind of move around and follow where it is, at the bottom of the sand dune, you're going to see 3 cyclops poking at this kind of crudely carved humanoid shape that doesn't seem to be moving, but is definitely captured these cyclops' attention.
So they're
How far away are the Cyclops?
They're about 50 feet down the embankment. They, being who they are and what they're kind of doing, have not noticed you yet. You're in the middle of the desert. They wouldn't expect anybody just to kind of pop in behind them right now.
Well, I turn to everybody in the group and I kind of whisper, do we want to just get right on into this or what?
I mean, yes, but could be in trouble.
I think these beasts need to be destroyed.
Okay. They're, as you guys kind of formulate your plan, they're going to be just kind of poking at this thing with their clubs, and still kind of unaware of your presence. And like I said, there's 3 of them.
All right. Well, at least we'd like to get a surprise attack on them if we are going to attack them.
Yeah, for sure. I could hit all 3 of them with a Eldritch Blast. I'll just wait for the signal if somebody else wants to hit them with something first.
What exactly are they doing? Are they just clumsily poking at something? It doesn't seem right.
Can we get a better look at what they're poking at?
Everybody give me perception if you guys are all just kind of in a group curiosity about this.
23.
Oh, I have advantage on perception. That's better.
9.
19.
9, 19, 23, 9. dude.
17.
Hey, his eyes are like half rotted.
Yeah. Fair enough.
If it's not dead, I don't know what it is. All
His,
right.
his eyes are literally deteriorating.
It looks. Good.
Yeah, I just a quick question. Golem are constructs?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right. So as soon as we land, I want to make a survival check to track one of my favorite enemies,
Okay.
which happens to be construct. So that's going to be a 23.
Okay. And what? It's going to basically ping that there is a construct nearby?
So I'm tracking, so maybe I see evidence of a construct that's passed through this area, or that is nearby, or maybe I know something about how golems and cyclops get along.
They're natural predators. You're going to see a kind of like deep gouged, like shuffling, like through the sand that is
So like a heavy creature dragging its feet.
yeah, like more of a shuffle than a kind of bipedal up and down. And as somebody who would be tracking them, you would recognize the kind of tread and path through the sand as that of a golem, and it leads to where the cyclopses, which is not right, are.
Those one-eyed monsters over there are almost certainly tangling with a golem right now. Look at these tracks.
Okay.
I might be able to talk to them and get them to go away if we don't want to, bloodshed.
Say we approach slowly and quietly.
Then we should surround them. Everyone, make sure we don't interfere with each other. Let's make sure we're spread enough far apart.
Holy fair
So then you're gonna Shawshank. You're gonna try to talk to them, and if the talks go south, we surprise them.
Right.
We all just like pop up over a dune and bah!
Yeah.
What's the command? What's the code word? What's the safe word?
How about Vegemite?
I was like, let it be something crazy. All right.
Can Morlok go and take this time to summon his little undead thing too, or do I need to wait for combat?
No, at this level, I imagine and it lasts for 8 hours and something. So
It lasts for 1 hour.
oh, okay.
It's like the summon undead spell.
Okay, then yes. Like I said, I thought we were gonna get into all the bodies that you're gonna raise.
Oh yeah, I'm specifically because I'm specifically trying to avoid having 16 zombies.
Give them all short.
So mostly focused on.
Give them all short bows and just become like an archery commander. My turn. I tell all my skeletons to shoot short bows at everything. I've seen that build and it was crazy. All right, so Shawshank is going to kind of separate from the party. The rest of you are going to kind of hunker down behind the.
Yeah, spread out around. If there's dunes that are around where they are, let's stay on the opposite side, and just kind of all spread out just to make sure that none of them can see all of us at the same time.
Okay.
Laraunce is going to make a stealth check, and take position where he has vantage with his longbow, so within 150 feet.
Okay. You're already about 50 feet away from the top of the ridge.
Okay. Is there any? I know you described dunes. Are there any rocky outcroppings or?
There is at the bottom. I guess
okay.
if you wanted to kind of get if I'm picturing you guys kind of in a half circle behind these three cyclopses, right? If you wanted to get basic, and so from my perspective, that's going to be 9 to 3 o'clock going this way. If you want to get up into 12 and 1 o'clock, which would be as of right now, sort of in the field of view of these cyclopses, then yes.
I'm going to stay back where I am. So I'm just going to kind of, crouch down and try to keep my profile a little bit low while I, prepare my longbow, anticipating that I've never negotiated with a Cyclops before, and I think this is a foolish plan.
Okay.
So I've got the wings. I kind of is everybody good if I?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna fly overhead and
Ooh.
kind of land on the other side of them.
Okay.
Maybe let's say 40 feet away. And I'll kind of call out. And as I'm talking to them, I also want to have the variant tiefling enthrall going, so that they make wisdom saving throws. And if they fail, they have disadvantage on perception checks to see the rest of my party.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So you're gonna land. Two of them, kind of a little more obscured from your view, are going to continue kind of poking at what you now know to be some variety of golem. Kind of gesture for the other two. Kind of point to you. What you want, we find. We take.
Oh, good. You speak common. That's perfect. What do you want that old... It's just a rock, really. Do you ever... I mean, if you're trying to use it for food, I think that's probably a bad idea.
We don't eat. We take has shiny. And he kind of points to this exceptionally vivid blue glow that seems to be coming from, like, if it's a humanoid shape, like directly in the sternum, from like within the golem. Shiny rock, good. Shiny rock, pay money. And one of them is like, shiny rock, and tries to smash the golem, but to no effect, and gets kind of aggravated and really starts to like wail on it. And from everybody else's perspective on the perimeter, it doesn't look like the golem is like given an inch. It just kind of sits there.
My faith in my ability to talk these guys away has plummeted drastically. So I think I'm just going to keep them occupied until I see the rest of my party members in position, and then I'll call out the word.
Mm-hmm. You go away. We find. We keep. And he kind of beats on his chest a little bit. And one of them like
here,
still
rock paper scissors for it.
me smash like paper for it. And he's like, he shows you like the one of his Cyclops homeboys who's just wailing on this thing, and as a kind of demonstration of intimidation that like, hey man, that could be you.
That could be you.
You're gonna void the warranty. You're not even taking care of it. You can't be trusted with this.
We just want blue rock.
Does it look like people are in position?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's ready.
Okay.
Nope. Then I will call out Vegemite. And
all right. Then let's everybody roll for initiative. How it works is I call out like groups of 5, 25 to 20, 20 to 15, blah, 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 just to keep it from everybody screaming at me. I will roll for this. All three Cyclopses will act on the same initiative just to keep it easier. They are going to go 1, 2, 3 from left to right for everybody except Shawshank, who, if he's still on the opposite side, it will be opposite to him. And they got a horrible initiative.
These are large creatures, right?
They are huge, in fact.
Okay.
All right. Initiatives 25 to 20.
20.
Okay.
For me, the golem will also act on my turn.
Okay. 20 to 15. Oh, hold on.
Oh, I got a 19.
Okay. Is this because everybody's initiative rolls are like higher than 25?
I rolled a 4.
Yeah.
I got a 7 total.
We're all rolling like garbage.
Okay. I just didn't
That's
like.
all
I
it
never
is.
I never had initiative over 25,
I
and
got
now
a
I'm like
6.
some of you guys are like 29. All right. So
We're gonna roll
Kephalos with a
29
20.
once, and that's it.
Shawshank with a 19. Landon, you got 4. Morlok.
Well, 7 after modified. Yeah,
Okay.
7.
Patterson, you got a 6.
Yep.
And then Laraunce, what'd you get?
9.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Cyclops ain't so bad now. All right. Laraunce, Morlok, and Patterson. Okay, so surprise round. They will not go in the initiative. We'll go through the run, and then when we get back to the top, they'll fall into initiative where they would based on those rolls. So that means Kephalos and his golem are first to act from about 50 feet away. Their backs to you, talking to the angelic person who they don't seem to want to listen to.
So I will appear at the top of the dune, and I'll scream, I'll show you what real creation will do, and I will blast him with Sacred Flame,
Okay.
which is a 17 dex save.
Which one is this?
The one that he was talking to.
Okay, so that's going to be the one on the far left to you.
If he has his back to me,
Yes.
then yeah, I want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the
17 dex.
18 actually passed. All right, monsters. That's probably
Womp womp.
that's probably my highlight. Do level 15 clerics only get to do one thing?
That's it. So the golem and I will make our movement 30 feet towards them.
Okay. Damn, dude. Cleric, here's all the stuff. You get one thing. All right. And the golem's just gonna move. This is gonna go for a little stroll. Gonna go get closer to the golem, homie.
We are melee people.
Heard. All right. So it's Kephalos and the golem kind of, C3PO, Tripio. Is that what we went with? Down the sand dune towards the Cyclopses who are no longer looking. Shawshank still kind of a little closer, or 40 feet away. You're only going to be able to see Golem or Cyclops 1. The other two are going to be kind of obscured by the kind of rock the Golem is resting against.
Cool. I think I'm just gonna try and get all their attention by flying up on the opposite side of Golem 1. Was
Okay.
it? Which is there one that they look like they're going for, the Golem and the cleric?
It would be the one that you were talking to, which will be the one right in front of you.
Okay, gotcha. Then yeah, that one.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna swing a couple times.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot. I rolled a 17 and an 18 plus 14 each, so 30.
Yes.
1 and 32.
Yes, a 31 and a 32 hit.
Oh my. Oh no. 24, 31, 41, 42 points of damage.
All right. Okay.
Dice are ridiculous. The damage are ridiculous.
Well, this is your
You're
first
giggling
encounter,
at all
so
the
you
dice
guys,
you're rolling over there.
you guys are gonna pace yourselves. It's not like, well, let's go see what the craziest shit does right now at the very beginning. So, like, this is what I need to get like a
It's
baseline.
gonna keep exploding.
Yeah, of what you just do with regular melee. This one I was like, all right, they're doing like 42, 44. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you, that wasn't that bad. I literally have no idea what's expected to. But yeah. So describe your strikes, because I was like, I imagine your weapon is probably pretty badass.
Yeah, it's that is the artifact that I chose. It's the Sword of Zariel. Um, it like I imagine like as I sort of fly, dust flying behind me, the sword catches some of the light and holds that radiance. And as I get up to the Cyclops, I just do two quick slashes. Uh, yeah, yeah.
Nice. All right.
Like they look okay, right? Like they're not.
I mean, yeah, but these numbers can go, like, we can lose large numbers real quick. So right now, having
Gotcha.
one person connected, yes, they're doing relatively okay.
Okay.
The Cyclops will be next in initiative, so they will get skipped. And Laraunce, let's go from a distance.
Sure. So Laraunce is going to use his bonus action to pull one of his specially poison tainted arrows from his quiver. And he's going to pull back on his longbow and let it fly. So that's going to be...
The one that everybody's already wailed on, the middle one.
Oh,
or...
yeah, the one that everyone's been focusing their
Okay.
attention on. And it's going to be a 21 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. So with poison, you're going to need to make a Constitution saving throw. The DC is 14.
It's going to be a 12.
Okay, so he fails the Constitution saving throw. So I am going to do a total of 3d8s,
Ooh.
2 of which will be poison damage, and then 1d6 of psychic damage with my devastating attack or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. It's not going to be as cool as that last attack. 8 plus
This is the only comment.
17 points of damage.
Woo! All right.
And 8 of that is poison damage, and you are that Cyclops is poisoned until the end of my next turn.
Okay. And poisoned is what? Disadvantage on ability checks or ability checks and attacks?
And yeah, ability and melee.
I should have this handy.
Okay, so you're going to shoot this thing with an arrow, hit it in the shoulder, and in the big kind of brawny, beefy way that Cyclopses are, you watch the poison actually kind of enter the bloodstream in this weird kind of discolored little patch that you watch kind of spread through the body as it gets like a significant shiver despite it being hot as shit in the desert in the middle of the day.
And
Yeah.
one of those points was psychic damage, so
Okay.
he probably looks really dismayed right now.
I mean, I take psychic damage to stand in the heat, bro. It's hot. All right, very nice for your disappointing 17. What else you got? That's it?
One more attack.
Okay.
So
Same thing?
24 to hit is
Yes.
going to land, and then I can't do the poison again because that is a bonus action. But it's going to be 1d8 and 1d6. So you're going to take 1 more psychic damage and 2 more piercing damage from a second arrow.
Okay.
So three more damage total.
So yeah, it looks like he has a headache. He seems very disoriented, and like I said, it has like a noticeable chill despite it being baking in the sun. That it?
That is going to be
Awesome.
actually, is there, so now that how far away is like this rocky outcropping that the Cyclops were?
It's basically going to be what they're kind of huddled around. The golem
Okay.
is like resting up against it, so it's going to be 50 feet down from where you currently are ish, and then whatever the climb up is, it's probably about 10 to 12 feet high.
And how tall are the Cyclops?
Huge, whatever that comes out to be.
Taller than 12 feet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So I
Yeah.
wouldn't be safe from the Cyclops if I were on top of that outcropping.
In an Obi-Wan Kenobi, you would have the high ground kind of a way.
Okay, I'll end my turn.
Okay. Yeah, two nice arrow shots. All right, Morlok, be creepy, bro. Do something.
So Morlok will utter a phrase, and the sound of bells will ring, while ghostly vestiges will try to rip at the life force of one of the injured Cyclops with toll to death. DC 24 Wisdom saving throw.
Man.
Oh, dude. I can roll 2d20s in this thing. All right, DC 24. What? Oh, wait, it doesn't matter. Ooh, maybe
Wisdom,
not.
yeah.
Hold on. Oh, man. Take a -2 because otherwise I'd have made it. Rolled a 19, so no.
Dang.
Failed.
And that'll be 11 necrotic damage.
Okay, that's not so bad.
And then the ghost
Knowing
that
that.
I had summoned,
Knowing then.
the ghost that I had summoned will go up to it and attempt to attack it. And that'll be, because it uses my spell attack modifier, does a...
Probably.
Oh man, it doesn't add it for me. 1 second. Sorry.
Probably, though.
A 35 hit. I rolled a 19, so I'm just kidding. It was a 35.
I wonder how. I
It
just
was a
wonder
35, and I knew-
how long tonight that's still gonna be funny. Like at 10 o'clock, I'll be like, "Yo, dog, just 37 hit. Look, man, you know goddamn well it does."
So 18 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And it's frightened until the end of its next turn.
Of you or of everybody?
Of it. So while the ghost is in its presence, it has disadvantage on its attack rolls and ability checks.
It doesn't have to flee though. It can stay where it is.
Yeah, it can stay where it is.
Okay.
That's there's another one for that, I think.
Okay.
And then it will attack it again. Oh, it can't move close. It can't willingly move closer.
Sure.
It's worth it here, but it's in melee range, so yeah. So
okay.
its second attack is an 18 to hit. Roll a 2,
Yes.
and that'll do 19 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's it.
So let's see. It took psychic damage, poison damage. Porter, what you do?
Piercing.
Okay. Oh yeah,
radiant damage.
you slashed it, and then necrotic damage. Okay. It's a Cyclops, y'all. They don't have resistances to nothing. They're just hit points. All right, so it's gonna kind of just. It cannot like possibly look any worse. Everything that you could have thrown at it in all kinds of like manner of messed up. It's cold. It looks old. It's got like blistered skin from the radiant damage. Yeah, so it's not looking good. All right, Patterson. I am pretty sure. Yeah. What are we gonna do? Eldritch Blast the hell all three of them?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just 1, 2, all 3 of them. I can see all 3 of them from where I am, right?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
First one's an 18.
Yep.
33.
Yes.
Oh, and that 20, 34.
Okay. So roll the damage for the first 2, and then we'll do the third one separate.
19 and 10.
Okay. So the first Cyclops that everybody's been wailing on is now dead. We'll get to that in a second. And then, so whatever each one of those Eldritch Blasts would be in damage, max that out and then roll the dice again, add them together for crit.
21.
Okay. All right. So that was a lot to go over. So describe your Eldritch Blast and what it looks like when the first Cyclops goes down.
Sure thing. So, Patterson holds up his two staves, and does some fancy, almost looks like he's at a rave kind of stuff. And then you see three strings of power shoot up, one over each of the cyclodes,
Cyclops.
and almost like a mortar
It's
blast.
like
They
moose.
pop up and then blast down. Beams of almost like translucent power just slams into them. Just beams of force for etc. damage.
So the first one seems almost relieved to be put out of its misery after all the bad things that happened to it, and after having seen what happened to the first one, the other two have this kind of slight envious look about them. And all right, we will go back to the top. So the two remaining Cyclops will act in this this initiative round, and we will start with Kephalos. Cyclops 2 and 3 remain. If you moved up into melee, you're going to be about 15 feet away from Cyclops number 2.
So yeah, so I would have moved 30 feet, and then they were 50 feet originally, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move the other 20 feet along with my iron golem, and I guess we are going to attack 2.
Okay.
So I will make a melee attack for that. All right, so that's a 9 plus 16, so yeah. All right, that'll hit. All right, hold on. This is 3d8 and 3d10.
Oh, nice.
Playing like Shadowrun on steroids.
I don't even have that many
5,
dice.
6.
Such thing as too many dice.
Yeah.
So that's 25 points of fire damage from me.
Okay. To number 2, yeah?
And then, yeah.
Okay.
And then the Iron Golem will make 2 slam attacks against him. So that's what is that? 18 plus 13 for one.
Yes.
And 11 plus 13 for another.
Yes.
And then, so that is 9. That's 16 points for one slam attack.
Okay.
And 16 points for another slam attack. So 32 points from the golem.
Okay.
So 57 all day.
What did you hit it with? What's your weapon?
Fire and bludgeoning.
Okay.
Well, yeah, mine's bludgeoning plus fire, plus a little bit of radiance.
You got like a fire club or something? Something like that?
It
Fire
is the
warhammer?
hammer of Pupharos, who is the god of the forge.
Oh. Yeah, dude. We worship Moradin in this D&D game. I'm just saying. All right, so some pretty impressive blows. I feel like a kind of Zangief Blanca kind of kind of a thing with the golem on this Cyclops, which is still pretty big, but I imagine a golem's probably pretty badass. All right, Shawshank. Yeah.
Awesome. I think I want to go to the third the one that they're not street fightering right now.
The one they're gonna street fight.
And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna point at the dead one and be like, look, man, we didn't want to do this. He's about to die. You're gonna be next. You might as well just get out of here now. And I will hold my action for if he's still aggressive, then I would like to attack. But I want to give him the chance to get out of here.
Mighty kind of you.
It's going to kind of look around. Give me a persuasion check just to quantify something a little bit here.
Sure. 23.
So it's going to see the kind of quick work made of one of the golem and or Cyclops and the horrible suffering it experienced, and it's going to grab the one who is currently on that path and kind of drag them away. It is their turn after yours, so if you're going to hold your action, their action is going to be that they are going to try to walk away, which means that at least Kephalos is going to get an opportunity attack if he wants it.
The hammer will come down two-handed. I'll put the shield, like I'll kind of swing the shield to the side, and the hammer will come down and two hands.
All right.
All right, so that's a 24 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. And I also didn't add the 11 points of radiant damage that I did earlier, but that's all right.
I'm sure it'll make
so I'm rolling like shit.
34 damage. Damn it.
7. No. 11. 19. 23, 34 points of radiant fire and bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
From me. And the golem will also take his slam attacks, but he will use the hammer. We are attempting to just relentlessly just beat this thing into the ground.
All right.
Did you just call that 34? That was insane.
16 plus 13
Wow.
for 1.
Basically,
then...
we're just going to assume, unless you guys roll like a 1 or 2, well, not at least for this encounter. Anything less than a 1 and 2, we're going to assume that you hit. This thing has an AC of 14, so some of your
hits.
Some of your modifiers are bigger than that.
All right, so 3d10 for each one of those attacks. Wow. 7 plus 7, so 14 for 1.
Okay.
And then 4, 6, and 13 from another.
All right. So what does it look like when this thing was trying to be dragged away by
as he attempted to just as he reached out for his friend, the golem and I, basically, it just looked like in tandem we were just beating this thing into a forge, like in unison. We just two hammers right in the head, just splat into the sand. So it looks like an ostrich now.
So that is the second Cyclops to cease to be, and the third one is going to just outright take off from everybody. From everybody's perspective, for the most part, they're gonna take off into the desert, like away from you, leaving the golem kind of sitting on the ground. And what you see for the first time is two humans kind of come out from a smaller rock outcropping, and you will see it up on in the window in the stream. It's an old man and what looks to be a teenage boy. I was worried that those Cyclops would take this thing. I am Kamir. This is Pesh, my grandson. We have been looking for this golem for many years. My ancestors have encountered this before.
The sort of Zariel gives me true sight.
Okay.
Are they in disguise at all, or
no, they
okay.
just look like, probably part of a kind of desert dwelling nomadic tribe. By level 15, I would assume, kind of worldly. And so that kind of base understanding of cultures, you would look at it and go, yes, this makes sense as people who would just live that kind of nomadic lifestyle.
Gotcha.
The old man kind of pokes at this beautiful blue gem in the middle of the golem's chest. The golem, for the first time, seems animated and, doing golem things. It has a kind of sad expression, and just it kind of seems to be like sitting there.
Looking around to the party, is everyone all right? No one get hurt in that? I mean,
Morlok will look and say, "Yes, I am fine. I want to thank Kephalos, though. His actions will make it very easy." And you'll see he'll pull out a bag of holding and start like picking up some of the teeth from the Cyclops where it's knocked out, and just like throwing it in the bag of holding.
I keep waiting for that to get less disgusting.
Ron's just still up on the dome. I'm okay.
If anybody's ever been scuba diving. So the old man kind of seems now suddenly concerned with the presence of, even in his kind of, cultural and world experiences, realizes that you are 5 beings of significant power. Have you been sent to take this from my people? This is something that my ancestors worshipped, and I know I would not win, but I will not let you take this for the collection of scholars or learned men when it belongs to our people.
This golem belongs to his master. His master is who we must find. If you stand between this golem and I will smash you into the ground.
Morlok puts his hand up and says, hold on. It is against the law, and we kill them, and then people's after us, and I don't want to be dead in the next. I don't want to be like inanimate dead in the next few months. Let's try to barter a little bit. Shawshank, you like to barter with the Cyclops. Tell these peasants that we need this golem. Make them see the sense of it.
At the mention of its master, the golem becomes kind of a little bit, better posture, if a thing can have such a thing. And its kind of static stone expression slightly turns to a smile, and the blue stone in its chest glows a little brighter, even in the bright kind of daylight desert sun.
Did I get the sense from the old man if there was any sort of ulterior motive that he might have been hiding, or is it purely like this belongs to my people?
This belongs to his. The golem has been, kind of out in the world longer than the object that you guys are chasing. So, as far as people in his situation, they don't know that this golem is half of something. As far as they know, it is this thing that once belonged to their people that just wanders the desert, and that in and of itself makes it special, not necessarily this knowledge that it is the key to an artifact. What?
I'm gonna to ask. So can we just have a short conversation? We're not gonna, plot your demise or anything. It's just,
Even if you would, what could I do about it?
that's a fair point, honestly.
So he's going to kind of go over and, at your kind of even half joking mention of plotting their demise, he's going to kind of take his grandson and kind of a little more secure while you all converse.
What are we thinking, Shawshank?
I mean, I don't want to kill these people.
I see no reason. Are we? We're just looking for the key, right? We don't need the whole goddamn golem, do we?
I mean,
The golem
some
is
of
the
the
key.
I thought the key was inside the golem.
It's the thing that powers the golem.
Yeah, I
the
suspected
wizards would
that.
know if there's a way to remove the two.
Well, I can think of one way.
Carve it out.
I wonder if maybe we can negotiate to leave the golem, but take the. If it's powering the golem, then it's not helpful for us to take it. To take the gem, the blue gem. Well, we could always bring it back. Maybe they'll let us borrow it.
Well, the other thing that kind of weirds me out is, its master's supposed to be dead, right? Like, isn't this thing ancient? He said his ancestors.
You would be surprised. Many people find ways to continue living, even after they should be dead. Like me. And he says with his broadened smile.
The necromancer's like, I've got some thoughts on that.
Yeah. Bro,
The
but
undead.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being prejudiced, but are all of you this chill?
It's
My memories are a little fuzzy from back before my last resurrection. Let me see. I remember some of them definitely wanted to kill people. I remember this. I had it written down in my journal that I would die if I kept killing people. So somewhere along the way, I decided to not get on people's bad side. So maybe he will come after us or kill other people. I don't know.
I don't know. We're all carrying a lot of powerful items on us. Is there maybe a way we could, I don't know, maybe replace the power source?
Kephalos.
Hmm.
Los or Los? I mean, you obviously know about golems. Is there a way to get the power source and not,
If the gem is removed, the golem will be no more. There is nothing. It is either the golem or the gem. There is no if or between.
So
Perhaps I
if we
could
were to
ask-
take it out, could we not put it back in later?
The golem would crumble.
Oh.
Well, that's tough.
and like as we're speaking, this golem's like just like standing there, like with
Yeah.
like this happy grin on its face. So I just just so you guys know, this
Yeah.
thing understands. Like it
It's
can hear us.
it's heard everything that you've said, and at every mention of, essentially ripping its chest out, it gets a little like frowny face, and when it seems that you guys have kind of steered away from that subject, it gets a little less kind of jittery. And as Kamir and Pesh kind of make their discussions and you make your discussions, the golem kind of suddenly stands up and, in a kind of stiff, no neck, no shoulders kind of way, kind of shuffles around and begins to walk off into the desert.
I will say this real quick. I forgot. I have a ritual to allow us all to talk telepathically. So we could just assume that because it's ritual, we
Okay.
can always,
Yeah,
talk without
yeah,
those people.
it's a ritual too. I'm not gonna make you role play the hour or whatever.
Yeah.
So while everybody's kind of gathered together, Pesh and Kamir doing their thing, you guys doing your thing, this thing basically is just going to stand up like that one drunk friend and just bugger off while you're trying to get him like an Uber. He's just going to go fuck off and just go get into something. So it takes off, and in the same kind of sandy, shuffled steps that Laraunce saw leading up to the golem, it's going to leave a trail of those, as despite being rather kind of large and impressive, it's moving with a good little clip through the desert, undeterred by blowing sand or the scorching sun. This thing looks like it's going somewhere with a purpose.
Look, we're supposed to help it find its master, right? What if we just follow?
We must
And-
follow it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can follow too.
Yeah.
We're not interested in taking the golem. We just want to get the artifact. So, I mean, we can keep you safe if there are other, Cyclops seizes or whatever.
And should anything bad happen, don't worry, you will make worthy allies in your death.
There's a time to do good cop, bad cop, and there's a time to do good cop. Don't promise to bring their corpses
You
back to
will
life.
make
And I
worthy
think,
human sacrifices.
Don't worry, if you die, you're not really going to be dead, okay? Like, just, come on, you guys, let's...
Your deaths will be avenged, we promise.
Maybe. If
Yes,
not, you'll be
yes,
You
useful
will
in them.
avenge your own death. Don't worry.
That is
Let
my
me tell
point.
you about my friend Lazarus.
If they fall, I will ensure that they avenge themselves.
Oh no, they get it. They get it.
So the golem really seems to be moving at this clip, and as it kind of gets a little bit of distance, you notice that the winds off against this kind of mountain outcropping rock formation, the winds seem to be blowing a little oddly, and there seems to be this kind of cavern off in the distance that seems to be kind of being more and more exposed as the winds blow. And as the 15, 20, 30 seconds have elapsed since the golem decided to bugger off, it seems to be heading right for that.
The golem's heading for the cave, the cavern.
Yeah, off in the distance.
Okay. I'm gonna hop on my broom and just kind of fly up alongside the golem and kind of trail it so that everybody can see where it's going.
Okay.
Like, is that broom like a close relative of yours, or?
A little bit.
God, you guys. All right. So Patterson's going to kind of ride next to this golem who kind of pays him no mind. Kamir and Pesh are going to follow somewhat cautiously.
I'm gonna start casting. It takes a minute, but I'm gonna start casting. Summon fire elemental.
Okay.
Ooh.
As you know, you kind of slowly cruise. It's a big thing. It's not moving very fast. And the kind of closer you get to, the straight line that it's been walking, it definitely does look like the mouth of a cave has been kind of shown for the first time. But just inside the kind of cave opening, there appears to be an odd, I don't know if pile of rubble is the right word, but definitely something obstructing the entrance that is not the sand that just blew away. Is everybody just kind of following still at their own little distance?
Yeah.
As
I'll stay about 40 feet off of it.
Okay. As the golem kind of gets to within maybe 100 feet of the cave, Pesh and Kamir kind of ride up ahead for the first time, and you can see them kind of look into the cave, say something in their native language, and everybody give me a perception check, please.
Well,
19.
Okay.
14.
24.
All right.
I always have the most difficult time finding my perception score on this character sheet. Oh, it's right in the skills list. Okay. 24.
Okay, so everybody except Morlok and Kephalos are going to be essentially like hit in the face with this just horribly acrid, like fetid meat and ammonia smell.
see, why would Morlok
Right,
smell that?
and
Is he
that's
still-
why when you failed that save, I was like, dude, that is perfectly in character. You would know what shit smelled like if it was like presented to you on a plate. You'd be like, yeah, it's fine, whatever.
I love that smell.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna throw that
Like,
away? Are you serious? Can I eat that?
Perfectly good mortar.
Yeah. So they, Kamir and Pesh start to begin to speak in their native language and do the COVID kind of cover with their robes. And what language does everybody speak?
Common, deep speech, gnomish, and undercommon.
Okay, no.
Abyssal, giant, infernal, sylvan.
Okay. Gith.
Common, deep speech, undercommon.
Okay.
Common, celestial, and giant.
Okay.
And I got celestial, common, draconic, elvish, and infernal.
For those who speak giant, it is their native language sounds, like a cousin of giants. There are certain sounds and kind of cadences with the language that sound similar to giant. And for those who do, you hear them seeming very concerned and talking about not wanting to go in there. That the boy seems particularly afraid, and they have come to a complete stop on their camels as the golem continues unabated and runs into this like wall of displaced earth, and its legs continue to move, and the kind of pile of rubble is keeping it from going wherever it needs to go.
So, does it look like there's a collapsed opening here?
It looks like if you would see how like a wave is formed in the ocean, that at some point it kind of goes from flat and then upward. If you froze that in time and made it out of earth, that's what it looks like. Something was displaced out of the ground.
Tubular.
Like I said, Pesh and Khmer seem to want no piece of this. And the golem seems like absolutely committed to making it. And Pesh and Khmer kind of back up further. It is home of purple worm. Mindless beasts. On the other side of this cave is a lost valley. The golem must be going there, but it must go through this cave. We cannot go with you. We will not go with you. You go at your own risk. And they're gonna back up and essentially give you the
Morlok is going to sulk again with his people having left.
You made a whole deal about like, I'm not going to let you take it. And come on, man.
So the golem continues to kind of, in a football sense, churn them legs. And as it does, you see it kind of making a little headway. It's not solid rock. It's just really chunks of like tightly compacted sand and clay.
Can anyone help this thing along? Or
the clumps are loose enough that anybody kind of, brawny and swole could move large chunks of it, or in 5 pound increments. A mage hand could do it with some real time commitments.
So Morlok does have mage hand, but probably not optimal.
I'll go ahead and start moving stuff.
Okay.
I'll get in there all swole like.
You have a golem.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I have a golem and I'm swole. Like.
Yeah. The golem. But check these guns out, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
So looking at this wall, is it also made up of like smaller bits of material, like maybe small stones and sand among the rocks?
Yes. It looks like what you would kind of expect to be churned up from under the ground of the kind of environment that you're in. There's sand, there's big chunks of rock, there's little bits of bone, and as the party kind of starts to clear the kind of debris from blocking the opening, as soon as there's kind of like a hole this big through, the overwhelming like fetid meat ammonia smell hits everybody again. If you are up there right up against the hole, it brings just like an absolute tear to your eye. It's so bad, and it's hot. So it stinks and it's hot.
So kind of blinking back tears of just trying not to gag and holding his stomach. Laraunce kind of what he sees the smaller bits of material, and he has this idea that if he can move those out of the way quickly, maybe the rest of this wall will collapse because these materials have been removed, and maybe we can make some progress that way. So he casts wind wall um, across the face of the wall. So kind of like the wall that we're looking at, running parallel and kind of on top of it, this wind wall is gonna form and start. I don't know. Laurence imagines that things like sand and small stones, chunks of bone, are just going to start flying up and away from the wall, and hopefully causing the rest of the wall to maybe collapse. Um,
And in your idea, is all this stuff blown inward, like inward towards the cavern, or outward, like towards the party?
Loose, lightweight materials brought into the wall fly upward.
Um, okay, so let me. So, like a popcorn popper, essentially. You want all this stuff to kind of blow up and just a snowblower, like how a snowblower works,
Yes, yeah,
Massachusetts
sure.
boy. Yeah?
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I own one.
Okay.
Know it.
All right. Yeah. So, as you kind of cast this spell and the you kind of gather the momentum of the already kind of swirling winds in this little cavern or
Love
this
you
little
too.
section. It starts to blow like a lot of the kind of loose debris that acts as mortar between the bigger pieces. And as the kind of smaller, dustier, more fill in the gaps kind of parts blow away, eventually the bigger chunks kind of fall into the ground, and a walkway large enough for the golem to kind of shuffle on through. And it's going to make its way into this large kind of cavern that's lit by a skylight. It's just going to kind of just keep going about the straight line that it has been going.
And so that it's concentration up to a minute. So after about 45 seconds of this torrential sand blowing, I let it drop and allow everyone to watch the golem move through without too much debris in the way. And I'm going to turn back to the father and son in giant, say the path is clear. Are you joining us?
They will look at you slightly confused, but having, for the most part, understood what you said, they still will give you like the hardest pass of all time. Yeah, they're not going like anywhere in there. And they kind of quizzically follow the golem essentially out of view from them, as you hear it still kind of making its way through the cavern, and now it's kind of grinding movements of its kind of gait seem to be amplified by the reverberations from inside the cave.
Can you track that thing?
Yeah, I cast Hunter's Mark on it.
Okay. So yeah, it seems to just keep going in this straight line as it gets, I don't know, probably about 80 to 100 feet through the debris wall. It kind of runs into another one, and same thing, just kind of gets to it and just kind of keeps churning away at its legs, but once again impeded by another kind of wall of debris.
Well, I can't do that. Keep up that wind all day. Certainly do it again now, but I don't know.
I got you, man. Don't worry about it. does anybody have? I don't know. Is any one of us like super great at finding traps, spotting traps? Great.
I can find
No,
you
man.
Perfect.
for you.
I'll make a saving
Not a
throw. I'll
rogue.
make a saving throw of 29. I'll be okay.
I will go first then. I think
Well,
I'll be
oh,
holding
oh,
up the
oh,
shield in
hold
front of
on,
me.
Hold on.
I can send my elemental in first.
I'll use a second level spell slot to cast Find Traps.
Okay. Give me the exact wording.
Sure. I sense the presence of any trap within range, 120 feet, and within line of sight. So within range and line of sight. A trap for the purpose of the spell includes anything that would inflict sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesired. The spell would sense an area affected by the alarm spell, glyph of warding, as an example, mechanical pit trap, reveals that the trap is present. You don't learn the location, but you do learn the general nature of the danger posed.
Okay. So you're gonna walk through the debris wall, like into the cavern, yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow this thing into the cavern, and is it moving into that H1 area?
H1 is where you're gonna start. This is the cave. The little part that goes perpendicular towards the top is the debris field that you just cleared. So it looks like it's gonna be about another 10 feet before the cavern kind of opens. And then the debris field at the very bottom of the map is going to be where the golem is now. Trying to proceed basically straight south through the map.
So I guess I'm at like the northern, where the north-south passage hits H2.
Okay.
I'm at like the northern end of that. So when I cast Find Traps, I'm looking through I guess there's a cave that cuts across my path.
That's the debris field.
That's the debris field.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm looking then, like I'm just at the entrance to H3. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of looking in that area, having followed the golem there.
So you see, like I said, the room's well lit by like a natural skylight. Nothing pings as far as traps go. You've been walking on, loose sand out in the desert like you would expect. And most of your experience in this cave is this kind of like sandstone or, kind of compacted clay for the floor. This room is not flat. It doesn't seem to have a solid floor. It seems, in the modern parlance, like a really large and difficult sand trap at a golf course. It's uneven. It's kind of all over the place. There's a couple of bones that are sticking out. And like I said, the golem still seems to kind of be grinding away, trying to get through the debris field in front of it now.
And is that
Bones
the
sticking
debris
out.
field at the very southern
Yes.
part of the map? Okay.
The bones sticking out, none of them would appear to be from a medium humanoid, would they?
They look like they may be. And there's a couple of them.
How many are there?
Before you go and do that, can I just extend the divine sense to see if they're already undead?
There are no undead.
Okay, cool. Okay. What you do, man?
Yeah, dog, go nuts. So, where is everybody through the debris field, or are you guys all kind of still outside?
I don't sense any traps, so
Yeah, I'm moving in.
Okay.
come on.
Yeah,
through.
I'm gonna. How tall is this long, narrow cavern?
About 10 feet.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna walk through then.
Okay. As everybody kind of clears the debris field to, one level of clearance or another based on your size, the smell really begins to become overwhelming. And as everybody kind of piles in and sees this cavern, you can genuinely hear the kind of grinding of the golem's kind of joints against itself as it moves. And suddenly the earth like really begins to shake the loose debris and rocks that you had just kind of cleared fall back on themselves, basically sealing off your entrance to this cave. And out from the ground is going to pop a giant purple worm.
Fuck, dude.
It's going to kind of pop up right behind the golem and the debris field. So you guys will be free to kind of be at the north end of the cave. The purple worm kind of towards the south, and then the golem up against the debris field. All right, so we are roughly a little more than halfway, so this would be a good time for us to take a break. Everybody watching us to take a quick break. We will be back in hopefully about 5 minutes to get to this big giant purple worm, which I'm super excited for, and the big 2 encounters at the end. So thanks for watching. We will be back in about 5 minutes, and we hope to see you when we come back.
Cool.
See you then.
Boom. Boo. All right, we are back after our little break. The party, having followed their golem guide, sort of, to this cave that it seemed hella intent on pursuing, and upon doing so, it kind of stumbled into the nest of a giant purple worm. And between the kind of blowing of the debris and the grinding of the golem's movement was enough vibration to set off the worm, and it has popped up in front of the party. No eyes, just this thick, viscous drool hanging from its gigantic mouth, and its sectioned, I don't know the proper parts of a worm, looking like just plates of steel just fitted together, like the sleeve of a piece of armor. So if I could get everybody to roll for initiative, please. Ooh, worm. Gonna be all right. Okay, just because, let's do initiative 30 to 25, just in case that's a thing. No? Okay. 25 to 20.
No.
No. Gee, okay. 20 to 15.
Nobody's got 30 decks, dog. Like, it's
Wait, hold on.
that's not a thing in this group, dude.
Yeah, sorry. I'm used to having a monk all the time, Lewis. All right, so 20. Yeah, and if Lewis isn't there, I got Ernest backup. I got monks everywhere. All right, 20 to 15.
17.
Okay.
18.
All right. 15 to 10.
13.
10.
Okay.
14.
All right. Shawshank. Patterson. Dude, what is it with the clerics in my game that just go last? I'm gonna start calling you Kelroth. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so if depending on how you all filed into the room, I'm gonna put the map back up just to be helpful. So it's going to have appeared probably like 3-4 squares below G3, I believe is what it's going to be for the cavern. H3. So whoever is kind of in front as you filled in. Okay, so Laraunce would be like in the front. How do you guys want to kind of position yourself as you came into the cave?
I think I would have
You
been
guys
right
are
behind
stepping
him.
in front of me.
Okay.
I'll be about third in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's start with Shawshank. If you're going to be second through, the 5-foot wide
Yeah.
opening, upon entering the room, are you going to get side by side with him to kind of be that paladin and get out front?
No, if he said that there were no traps, I would have then gone in front and done the, try to sense undead before anybody else.
All right, so it'll be you. Patterson, what'd you do when you get in the room? You stayed single file? You kind of fanned out left to right?
Does the room get taller?
It for the most part, no. It's all kind of about 60 feet high in this giant cavern.
60. Okay. I'm gonna hop on the broom and get up high up, about 30 feet up.
Okay. More
right
like
overhead. Whoever's out in front.
Okay.
I'll be right over them.
All right, and then Morlok and Kephalos, what are you guys going to do when you kind of come into the room before the worm jumps out?
Does it look like there's just the worm in there?
Yeah. Like you said, it just looked like a room of like loose sand, and then it's just going to pop out of the middle of the room by itself. The golem's going to be on the other side of the worm, just kind of smashing into the other debris field behind it.
Strangely, Morlok will actually be running towards the purple worm.
Okay. All right, so the worm is going to be first to act, and hold on. It's gonna take just kind of a big rear back and try to come down on Shawshank for a, god damn it, 17 to hit now, right?
Ah.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It's then going to kind of try to sweep its stinger at Laraunce and at Patterson up in the air. For Laraunce, it's going to be a 24 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. You're going to take 22 piercing damage. Wait, hold on. You're going to take 19 piercing damage, and I need you to make a con save, please.
It's going to be an 18.
Okay. You are, in addition, going to take 42 poison damage.
I'm immune to poison damage.
Immune?
Oh.
I believe so.
What?
Let me double check that.
Okay.
I might just be resistant.
That's crazy.
I know.
No, I think I'm reading it way wrong. I take that back.
Okay.
Then, as a reaction, I'm going to use Aura of the Guardian to take that damage instead.
Okay.
How much was it?
It's going to be 19 piercing from the actual like kind of stinger strike, and then you're going to take essentially what his failed saving throw damage then too, and then that's going to be 42 poison damage on the failed save, and then on Patterson it is going to that's going to be a 20 to hit.
Nope.
No. It's going to kind of swing its stinger. You're going to deftly move on a broom like a sorcerer who's accustomed to, flying, but a floating disc is too wizard.
Definitely gonna fly myself upward a little bit.
All right. So Laraunce is actually going to be first in initiative. Wait, hold on. Yes.
I'm sorry. Would it be too late? Because he's by me for him to have advantage on that save against the poison?
Yeah, go ahead and give me another one.
Or I'm sorry, not advantage, but he would add 5. That's what it is.
Okay.
Oh,
it
yeah,
would've
because
been-
It would
R.
have been 23
Yeah.
total.
Okay. So then you're
Man,
gonna
you gotta love paladins.
Yeah, the auras are great. You're going to take 21 poison damage.
Okay.
Then.
Gotcha. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're totally fine. Like I said, it's high level stuff, man. So it's going to take its big bite and its two kind of stinger swings. One of them hitting Laraunce, but kind of absorbed by the Steve Irwin Paladin, and Laraunce is going to be next to act. It's it's big, it's nasty, it's just kind of standing there. Yeah.
Go Ranger.
Okay. I am going to kiss one of the rings on my hand and say "Open Sesame," which is going to summon a genie from the elemental plane of air.
Okay.
Ooh.
It says a particular genie. Does that just mean a specific genie in like background wise?
I mean, it's probably got a
not
name.
referring to the monster. Okay. All right. Well, he's called Genie.
Yes, master.
It remains as long as I concentrate to a maximum of 1 hour, or it drops 0 hit points. It's friendly to me and my companions. It obeys my commands. If I fail to command, Genie defends itself. Okay, so that is my action, and then as a bonus action, I am going to turn invisible until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
Using hidden step. So I kind of disappear, and the genie appears in my place. It says, hello. What should I do? And you hear Laraunce out of nowhere, kind of, attack the Yes. Yes. Attack the purple worm.
The genie busts into song, and you realize Will Smith is a poor man's Robin Williams. Anything else?
Don't even tell me that someone actually wants that.
I made it up through never had a friend like me, and we fast forwarded it, and we got through like 6 bars, and my wife and I were like, nope, we out.
So does the genie act on my turn?
Yes.
And should I wait till my next turn until it gets an action, or is it get an action now?
If you're summoning it as your action, and it basically materializes in that action, I would say that it can go ahead. It can go.
Okay. It is going to cast Thunder Wave at the worm. Yes, attack the purple worm right away. Wave of thunderous force sweeps out from my fingertips. And so I think I have to move. The genie has to move within range because it's
That's a 10-foot cube, 15-foot cube.
15 foot cube from self. So it's going to be a Constitution saving throw.
Right.
And it's going to be the genie's spell save.
If it's not 29, the worm passes. The worm has plus 14 to con.
Okay.
So
it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. So
nothing happens as the
a large
I think
clap,
Underwave still does half
damage. It doesn't move on a successful save. If it fails its save, it's pushed back. I think like 10 feet.
okay. Right.
So yeah, give me a little damage roll. So a large clap of thunder and a large gust of wind localized to right in front of the worm kind of hit, but because of its massive size, it is, unmoved.
Okay. So it's a 14 on the die, so he's going to take 7 thunder damage.
Okay. Thunder buddies for life. All right. It's going to take, kind of a, like a good thump to its rather large chest. Anything else?
No, that's it for the genie.
Okay. All right, Morlok, there's, as best you can tell, when the worm kind of shot up from the ground, it kind of shot debris into the air, and it appears to be about 3 skeletons of former victims of the worm that have just kind of come loose from the churned earth.
Morlok is very tempted, but he has an even better idea. Breaking his concentration on the ghost, so the ghost will dissipate. He will run up and do his chant and touch the worm. As necrotic energy flows into it, he's going to cast Bestow Curse. DC 24 Wisdom save.
Yeah.
So
No.
unless I have +4.
Yeah, no, it does. It's got a -1.
It gets to retry every turn, but I guess it doesn't matter. It wastes its
unless you're
action.
gonna let me roll a D30, no.
It wastes its action doing nothing each turn for the next minute until it can break that concentration.
What? So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna sit here and just tick off numbers, huh? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Fabulous.
For 1 minute.
Okay. Cool. Not to be a dick, but is there anything else you want to do? No. You good? All right. Cool.
Nope.
Let's see how quickly we can race through these hit points then. All right. After Morlok, dude, this is yesterday with you assholes and the moose all over again. All right. So Shawshank, does it move? So what's the deal? Does it?
So it says it wastes its action that turn doing nothing. So I guess it could move. It could. I guess it could move because it just says it wastes its action doing nothing.
But like, it's not petrified or anything. It's just suddenly exceptionally apathetic to your existence.
Yeah, just like super depressed, but can get
Man,
the
I don't
will
even
to
want to
attack
fight these
us.
guys. Come up in my house and destroy my shit. Ugh. All right, all right, man. So yeah, so that's it, right? Yeah, you're done. Even if you're not, you're done.
Oh man.
All right, Shawshank, you got this worm that I don't know wants a belly rub. I don't know, man.
I don't
Who's a
think that
good
this
boy?
is going to be reasoned with. I
Scritches.
will rub its belly with my sword very fast.
Up and down.
Twice times. What is it? 26 and 24.
Yes.
Um, would you allow me to say that I was going to smite? Or is it? That's when I hit, right?
Yeah, it's after, which is the best part. I crit. I smite.
I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna smite. I was just gonna do a first level ones. 15 and 27 and
And now come the smite dice.
17.
45.
So that's what?
45.
Huh?
45. 28.
45
17.
or 40, and then another 18 on top of that. So
63. 240. Okay, I got it.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so this thing comes over and kind of, wants a belly rub and gets, a smiteful belly rub. And
Yeah.
despite kind of jerking in pain, it does nothing and just kind of continues to stand there.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Just took it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have anything else to do. It loves it too. Please, sir, can I get another? All right.
It's the curse.
All right.
Kind of feel bad now.
All right, Pat. All right. So, anything else?
No, that.
All right. All right. Patterson, having freshly dodged a stinger attack, floating 30 feet above the paladin for this big giant worm that's essentially like eye level to you, more or less, probably. Just sitting there like a Labrador retriever who wants to be pet.
Yeah. So I'm gonna fly another 30 feet, or 25 feet to get right up to the ceiling, just as far from his reach as I can.
Okay.
And I'm gonna direct the fire elemental to run up and so like with my bonus action, I'll direct him to like take his attacks, and I will make my just an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 32. So for 10 damage. And then so my fire elemental will do 2 touch attacks each, so 1d20 plus 6. 15.
Oh no! The fire elemental, you goon. Why do we even bring
Two
you?
15s.
No.
15 and a 15.
So the kind of, what is it, like a touch attack? They're just super hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the scales on the worm are such that like even the surface temperature of a fire elemental. That's how tough this thing is in theory. It seems unconcerned, and even if it wasn't, it's still just kind of sitting there.
Okay.
All right.
That's my turn.
Fantastic. Kephalos, what do you got, buddy?
So I will run in with the golem, and we will just attempt to just overhand smash the worm.
Okay.
I was supposed to make more attacks, but that'll be it. Don't worry about it.
That's 27 to hit.
Yes.
All right. So that will do 18 plus 22, so 40 points of damage. So 18 points of bludgeoning and 22 points of fire damage.
Okay.
And the golem will take his turn, which is Six. There's so 19 to hit.
Yep.
All right, that'll hit. And then another one, which is a 16 plus 13, so that one will hit as well.
Yes.
So that is 6d10 altogether. And the golem will do 29 points of damage.
Okay. The worm, your seasoned adventures, you know when a physical... all this thing is a big beast. It's nothing magical about it. It's just a big fucking monster. You can tell, as adventurers such as yourselves, that this thing is significantly injured, but nothing about its demeanor of this apex predator that it was portrayed to be seems to be the case. As we go back to the top of initiative with the worm, so it's just living its best life. And back to the genie and Laraunce. I think you're muted, buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, just checking a couple of rules here.
Okay.
But I think I got it. So I wanna drink a potion that I have. Does that take an action, or is
if it is a healing potion, what we do is if you take a full action, you don't have to roll. It heals for its max amount. If you take it as a bonus action, you have to roll, and you get what you get.
Well, I definitely don't need a healing potion
Okay.
yet.
If it is like a one and done kind of a thing, bonus action.
Okay. Laraunce is gonna get into while he's invisible still. He's going to get adjacent to the worm.
Okay.
And then he's going to drink his potion of enlarge while he has his staff, his spear in hand. And he's then going to attack with his spear, which I hope I actually put on my equipment list. I did. Excellent. So the spear is two-handed, so it's going to be a +6 to hit. Say 22 hit.
Yes, it does.
And it's going to do 1d8 plus the 1d6 from sorry, lots of things to keep track of here. 1d6 from Dreadful Strike, and then from being enlarged, I get an extra d4 damage.
Are you big and invisible, or by turning big, are you no longer invisible?
Pretty sure. Well, if anything, attacking the creature is gonna make me appear.
Okay.
So as soon as I strike him, I think that probably enlarging would do the same. I can double check for you if you'd like.
I don't think it matters.
So it's only gonna be 10 damage.
Okay.
But I'm a big boy now, and I get to attack twice. So I will roll another d20 to hit with my spear. It's a 19 on the die,
Yep.
So that's gonna hit. And I'm gonna do another 10 damage,
Okay.
Piercing with my spear.
Worm's still just doing its thing. The genie want to do something?
The genie does absolutely want to. It's gonna make 3 scimitar attacks.
Okay.
Let me conjure the dice to do this all in one go. he has the scimitar attack is a +9 to hit, so the lowest one is a 16,
The 16 doesn't get it done.
and the next lowest one is a 22, which
Yeah.
should hit.
Yes.
So they got 2 hits. It's going to be 10 slashing damage plus 12 lightning damage.
Okay. The room is starting to smell worse than it already has. Just all kinds of fire damage and lightning and burnt, giant, stinky worm smell. In the back of the room, kind of on the other side of the worm, the debris field that's been keeping the golem in seems to have a little more give than the first one, and it slowly appears to kind of be making its way through the debris field on its own at the southern end of the room. All right, Laraunce and Jeannie, you guys all good?
Yeah, so just to describe the genie's attack, he essentially like spins around 3 times real quick, almost like a whirling dervish, and strikes the worm as it passes each time with his scimitar, and he's kind of cackling madly as he goes about it. Ah ha ha! Feel my blade, you stinky worm!
This is Brooke. All right. All right. Ruiner of fun, Morlok. So the worm, despite its kind of cheerful Labrador demeanor, is not doing well. The room smells, and the golem's kind of off doing its own thing.
So, Morlock will suggest that while it's cursed, we just go and leave it be. So as he's walking away, he will go and cast Hold of Dad, which is DC 24 Wisdom thing. So that, yeah. To deal. I rolled 2 ones on damage. 11 necrotic. 3d12. 11 necrotic. But he will suggest we just like leave it as he does so.
And so it takes no action. So if you were to walk away, like it's just going to stand
It can
there.
take its reaction. I think.
It's,
I assume it can take its reaction.
but like I said, at a certain point, once everybody's clear of it, like, it's just going to stand there like an asshole until like the spell wears off. Is there a range on it?
So, let me pull it up real quick. I just know it's a 1 minute concentration. It is at the beginning of each turn. It can retry the wisdom save, but you said it had a -1, so it can't succeed. A remove curse ends the effect. It doesn't say anything about a distance for it
It's the
to
target.
maintain the effect.
If it's not like 30 feet, like for the most part, like I said, even if it's 100 feet, you would be clear of it if proximity was a thing at the point when that proximity became an issue, you would be clear of it, and it is not large enough to escape the cave just because it wants to. So,
There's no reason to kill this thing if we don't need to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
In large voice.
all right. So you're going to suggest that everybody kind of leave it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be up. Yeah, it's going to be up to you guys. The golem has kind of busted through at this point and is taking off almost like out of sight. It basically has like a golem-sized punch out into the debris field. It has punched its way through and is just buggering off into the desert on the other side of this cavern.
Back
I
out
forgot
into
about
the
the
desert.
Yeah.
Can I say that I drugged the skeletons with me? Takes a minute to cast them really fast.
Yeah, if you just want to hang out for a minute before you guys dipsy do, like I said,
Not
the
if you
worm.
have concentration on keeping the worm at bay. You
Yeah,
remove
and
your
it only lasts a
concentration by
minute.
spending another spell.
No, I'm gonna drag the
Oh, I
skeleton
got what you're
with
saying.
me out
Okay.
of the
Oh,
yeah
okay, okay.
yeah.
Is it like a dollar bill? You
I'll
need a
take 2 of them.
percentage? Do you need a percentage of the corpses to make it work, or?
Nope, I just need I cast a spell. I can affect two of them.
Okay. So
Casting the
yeah,
spell's gonna break your concentration on the worm.
yeah. So, but if you guys are clear of the cave and what you just grab like
Yeah.
2 femurs and you just
Oh,
want to be
okay,
like
okay.
2 people.
Yeah, just like drag them with me,
Okay.
and then when we get clear of the cave, away from the purple worm, that's when I'm gonna.
Then you'll pop the spell.
Okay. So as I guess if you guys are gonna follow the golem like through the golem punch out of debris, it's gonna be a good 500 or 600 feet clear of the kind of exit from the cavern. You find yourself in this valley, essentially, like surrounded by these kind of high plateau of rocks, and in probably about the 500 to 600 feet down a slight little embankment, you see a city that appears abandoned and just baked by the sun and the wind and the sand. It is rather large. Let me get rid of this worm. It looks like what could have been a relatively large city at one point. And dead smack in the middle, there appears to be a like swirling tornado of sand that just appears to be localized over this one area, essentially like unmoving. And the golem, just like it's wont to do, seems like it's headed, essentially directly for the whatever is in the middle of the sandstorm in the middle of the town.
I mean, I think we follow, right?
Okay.
Am I still seeing the golem tracks?
Yeah. It's a big wide open from your perspective, so like distance wise, you can still track it. It's just going to kind of have gone down a little embankment and seems to be making the way as it appears on stream on the like road that basically goes from the middle, like downwards, kind of 7-8 o'clock, from the center to the southwest corner. It's going to be following that road into the city, and then the little clearing kind of just off center of the town is going to be where the kind of tornado is localized to.
Okay, so I just want to clarify that as Laraunce moves through the golem-sized cutout, is the golem large or enormous?
Large.
Okay, so Laraunce is just like barely fitting the form and shape of the cutout as he marches through. He's still large himself from the potion he drank.
All right.
Pretty much filling the gap, cartoonishly.
You look good, man. You've been working out.
I had a great spurt.
I'm out and this is work, so sure.
Puberty hit.
I'm
like
going
a
to
ton of
direct
bricks this
the
afternoon.
fire elemental to follow the golem.
Okay. So in an odd little Wizard of Oz pairing, you have a golem followed by a fire elemental making their way through like this sun-scorched lost city in the desert.
Genie in tow.
Yeah, and Genie in tow. Hell, Morlok, you want to send your skeletons with it? Just have this whole like freak show parade.
We have an army.
Let's do it.
All right, so
Parade through the city.
what are you gonna summon? Or what are you gonna turn? What are you gonna turn the bones into? I don't care if it's
Skeleton.
okay.
Yeah.
It could be the other one if you want. Like I know one of them's corpse and one of them's bones. I don't.
Yeah,
really
I'll
care.
do the skeleton because it's got the short bow. Because they have like
A high dex.
28.
Yep, and they have a good enough dex to
Well-
work a short bow. All right, so this little freak show caravan follows into the city with you behind it, and as the golem followed by the fire elemental, followed by the genie, followed by the two skeletons. Kephalos, you want your golem up there too?
Yeah, he'll be walking with the other one.
Okay. As it gets kind of to the sandstorm, the golem seems to stop and kind of look. And as it steps a little bit closer, a perfect, like, hole in the sandstorm appears for you to walk through, the rest of it seeming kind of just going about its day.
Does the golem walk through?
It does, and it pauses in close enough kind of proximity to the sandstorm that it seems like there's like a hole cut out that the party could walk through if they wanted.
Well, I'm definitely sending the elemental through.
Okay. Everything goes through, and if they're explicitly commanded to follow the golem, everything kind of gets through the sandstorm and stops as the golem has stopped to allow you through whatever ward or sandstorm thing is going on currently.
So they marched through the sandstorm in order to reach the city?
There's gonna
sandstorms in the center of the city.
The sandstorm is in the center of the city, and as you kind of look through the hole in the sandstorm, you see a giant mausoleum that leads with a stairwell that leads downstairs. That seems to be this kind of focal point of where the tornado kind of comes from.
I say we follow.
Okay.
Yeah, I see another choice. Genie, why don't you follow me?
All right.
Am I
Do
gonna
like the
fit
name of
as
the
a
map
large
there?
creature?
What's that?
I didn't.
Am I gonna fit as a large boy, or do I need to at will shrink myself down?
The stairwell, for obvious reasons in a second, is going to be perfectly sized for you. And as you kind of come through the sandstorm, the light coming from the crystal in the center of the golem's chest is going to glow like exceedingly bright and wash everything over with a kind of blue hue. And from down the stairs in the mausoleum in the crypt, you're going to hear this kind of dry, raspy laugh. For all these years, I sought the golem. It has found me. And from under the ground up the stairs, you're going to hear these kind of heavy footsteps as a giant a giant the size of a storm giant, so exceptionally large, not a classical D&D size, comes out, and it has these like sickening blue glowing orbs for eyes, just rotted armor, very little flesh on its body, and just a blank focused stare as it comes up the stairs. And I'm gonna have everybody roll for initiative.
Oh man.
20.
Ooh.
16.
15 for Laraunce.
All right. Patterson?
18.
18. Okay. And Shawshank?
Also 18. My dex is +1.
Okay.
If that matters.
All right. And so, apparently exceptionally intrigued by the sight of an undead giant skeleton, the necromancer is first to act.
I'm sorry to ruin some fun again. This is the necromancer thing. Command undead. If it can't beat a 24 charisma saving throw, it is now friendly to me and my allies. I'm using command undead.
Okay. So is it the same thing as the last thing?
No, it's not. That one was like a wizard spell. This is like the necromancer ability.
Third
It
class
says,
feat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do I get out of
Feature.
it? I have to roll a 24 and that's it?
24 charisma saving throw.
Okay, so... Alright, so we'll... Yeah, okay, so you hit that. I'm just kind of... Can I hit other people?
Yeah. No, it is like our ally.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like,
now our friend. He is basically
until I use that feature again. If I use that on another undead, then...
This guy doesn't have any legendary resistances or anything. That's
Nope.
fucking wild that you're like,
No.
actually, actually, you work for us.
No, let me say, if you all want to fight it, I'll
I'll let it go.
Yeah, I'll let it go. Because I know that makes sense. We'll leave it to a vote. If y'all want to...
No, it's okay. He can be our friend.
Keep it? Okay.
Yeah, dude.
As long as everyone's okay.
As this thing turns even more golden retriever than the purple worm, the same kind of raspy voice comes from down in the crypt. It is no matter. I have lived ages for this day. Come, claim your prize if you must. And at this point, the golem is kind of clumsily going down the stairs and out of sight. The blue glow can still be seen in what you believe to be a relatively large chamber, but it's below the ground and down the stairs.
That's all of a chamber?
As best you can tell from upstairs, it is just the stairs. The only thing you'll see up on the ground level is just the stairs down into the crypt.
Okay.
And the voice that we heard, we don't know, did that come from below or?
It came from below, with the giant skeleton up, like on the level with you. When the voice spoke, especially after placed under Morlok's kind of spell, the voice definitely did not come from the giant.
Where's the golem right now?
Down the stairs. Undeterred, it just kept going.
Okay,
I
sending
would
the
like
elemental
to-
down.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to head over and try and like wrestle it down,
Okay.
like just pin it, essentially.
It's already
The
down the
golem?
stairs. Yeah, so it's already made its way down the stairs, and if you're going to go in pursuit of it, you're going to kind of come down. It looks like a crypt. White sandstone, cobwebs. God knows what else lives in a crypt in the lost city in the desert. And the golem kind of comes to a stop in the middle of this large room. And when you realize it's stopped and you look at the end of the room, you see a massive, both bony and leather-ishly clad pair of wings, half a skull exposed with fetid, rotted flesh on the other side, and a very kind of faded, once blue scales of an adult blue Dracolich. I have waited for this day. The scroll will be mine. And I'm going to essentially keep you all in initiative order. And I'm just going to roll for the dragon. Okay. So. Alright, that's going to go dragon, Morlok, Patterson, Shawshank, Laraunce, and Kephalos. Okay. So this gigantic, half dead, half covered in like kind of fetid scales, Dracolich kind of rears up in this room that, based on the kind of amount of treasure as well as other things, it appears that the dragon has made this crypt its lair. That the vault probably lies within the crypt, and it has spent its eternal undeath waiting for the return of this golem. So Shawshank's going to have followed it in. Anybody else want to run in super quickly? Oh no! Oh.
Just the
following-
fire
I'm
elemental's
following
gonna run in straight at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Don't worry,
move
guys.
in
I got
as well.
All right.
My golem and I.
Order Genie in ahead of me. Sure.
Okay. Everybody who is inside, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Is this for? Is this a fear thing?
Frightful presence.
Sweet.
So I'm gonna pass on that saving throw.
Yeah, I'm actually good.
Do you have an aura for that? I don't know what happens.
That's what I'm
Okay.
looking
It's
for.
all saving throws, I believe.
Oh yeah, anybody within 10 feet also can't be frightened.
Okay.
But I don't know if anybody got. I think I'm faster than everybody.
I don't think Morlok wants to sit beside a paladin. He's a little afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog, you do you over there. All right. Yeah, wisdom saving.
So, I'm sorry. Finish, Manny.
Go ahead. Yeah, just wisdom saving throws for everybody. Unless fear doesn't apply to you.
19.
Okay?
A 21.
Okay?
24.
Yep.
22.
Okay? Okay, and you can't be. So, the sheer sight of this magnificently large creature would strike just absolute terror and fear into any other party of adventurers. But because of your intrepid nature and your generous dungeon master who just blew the math on this thing apart, you guys managed to circumvent its frightful presence. It is now going to make...
Hold on real quick.
Yeah?
I have Beguiling Twist,
Okay.
which whenever a creature that I can see within 120 feet succeeds a saving throw against being charmed or frightened, I can force the dragon to make a wisdom saving throw of a DC of 15. So he needs to make 4 wisdom saving throws, DC 15.
Okay. And he's going to pass them all. Okay. And so, who's going to be in front, essentially?
I think that'd be me.
Okay. I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Fire elemental will be right there with him.
Okay. Fire elemental saving throw as well.
Ooh, 25.
Ooh, okay.
It was 14 for the elemental.
Okay.
Plus 5 if it's by me.
Yeah, so 19.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Both of you are going to take 33 lightning damage. It's going to just rear back and just seeing that you didn't. It's not terrified of. You're not terrified of it. It is just going to come full blast, big blast of lightning for 33 lightning damage.
Was that halved already?
That is the half. It's 66 if you fail.
Gotcha. I'm going to use my reaction to bring my dope-ass shield up.
Okay.
I've got the Shield Master feat,
Okay.
which means that it says if an effect allows half damage on success, you can use your reaction to take no damage.
Huh.
So I think the shield absorbs or deflects it all.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And then it is going to take a bite attack at Shawshank for a 28 to hit.
Sure does.
Okay. It's going to do 18 piercing damage and 5 lightning damage. And then it is going to swing its tail at the fire elemental for a 29 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
It's going to take 16 bludgeoning damage. And that
16 bludgeoning, 33 lightning. All right.
That will be it for the dragon. It is now Morlok's turn. Let's see what you got now, homie.
So, because I'm sure the giant skeleton's stronger than the typical undead, I'm gonna just assume that that's taking my concentration and stuff. Usually it wouldn't, but I'm gonna do that because otherwise I feel like it's not fair.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to cast Finger of Death.
Okay.
Oh.
To attack it. So I'm gonna point at it and send cursed energy towards it. DC 24 Constitution save.
25.
Nice.
So half as much damage will be so 55, so 27 necrotic damage.
And it is resistant to necrotic damage, so it's going to take 13.
I don't have any other damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
I figured it was resistant.
you're going to hit it, and your spells that usually kind of cause flesh to rot and things to go bad actually improve the way this dragon works. It even grows back like a little bit of flesh over like a bony part of it.
Morlok will say, necrotic doesn't work very well against the undead. Who would have thought?
All right, what else you got? That
And
it?
he'll just tell the giant skeleton to go attack it. I don't think that I control it. I think the DM controls it. So it's like a bonus action to say, hey, do this to me.
All right, it's going to just, I guess, take a swing with its great sword. 23 actually hits.
When you get the
so
DM
glad
to
we
battle the
chose.
DM.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys came to watch me roll dice against myself. This is a lot of fun. It's okay, so it's going to take 30 damage. And then
I'm so glad we chose not to fight it. Good call.
so the storm giant skeleton
Now it fights for us.
is going to take a huge slash out of the once in position of power Dracolich. Didn't just wander up here. The Dracolich set it up there for you. It feels betrayed that its minion is now slashing at it. Okay, Patterson, next to go.
All right. So yeah, the fire elemental is gonna keep making his attacks.
Okay.
Let me roll for him. 19 plus whatever his touch attack is, plus 6, so
Yeah.
25.
Yep.
So 2d6 plus 3. 11. 17 damage on the first one.
Okay.
And the second one, is only 16 to hit.
Yeah, the 16 is not going to get it done.
I didn't think so.
Okay. So, yeah.
So that's just the elemental.
Yeah, despite being, still dead, it still responds to fire. And, alright, that's the elemental. What are you going to do? Do you get your own turn independent of the elemental?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna take make my regular old Eldritch Blast. So it's 3 beams. I'm gonna send all 3 at it.
Okay.
First one is definitely gonna hit 33. Second one's only 18.
No, the second one doesn't.
And third one's 20.
Yes.
Okay. So damage for the first one was 8. Oh, and the second one is 6.
Okay.
And I'm just so how tall is this cavern that we're in?
It's massive. It's probably 80, 90 feet tall. This is
Okay, I'm gonna fly.
It was an adult dragon.
I'm gonna fly my whole 60 movement straight up into the air.
Okay. And just kind of hang out.
Yep.
Alrighty. Cool. So dragon's not doing well. Betrayed by its homeboy. I know it was you, Fredo. Breaks my heart. All right, Patterson. Shawshank. This is probably like the paladin's moment, right? Undead dragon.
I wanna so bad. But I'm also very nervous about this thing getting the golem. So I'm gonna cast Resilient Sphere around the golem.
Okay.
If it is unwilling, it gets a Dexterity saving throw.
If it's unwilling to what, like be picked up or something?
It like to be encased in this like dome of or this sphere of force.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to protect.
If it's unwilling to like for the protection.
Yes.
I'm gonna say it's probably not like sentient enough to have an opinion. It just seems kind of hell bent on doing its thing.
Gotcha.
So I would, if that means it's willing, then yes.
Dope. Cool.
Okay.
So I take my action to that springs up around the golem.
Okay.
My sword, I love this sword so much, guys. I can't believe I only get to use it for one night. I rolled for beneficial property. It gave me a cantrip. That cantrip was Vicious Mockery. So I'm going to say in Draconic, look at your life, man. Look at your choices. Even your minions are turning against you. It's not too late to change. It makes a wisdom saving throw, DC 21.
Oh, dude, if I get like shit talked out of like a Draco Lich, like. Okay, what is it?
21.
So 14's not going to get done. Wait, hold on.
No.
What is it? What is it, real quick? Wisdom?
Yeah, wisdom.
Yeah, it's a 14.
Sweet.
Okay.
So it takes 8 psychic damage, and it has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
But just one.
Just one, yeah.
Okay, cool. Not that bad. All right, so yeah, protect the golem, smack talk the dragon. Fabulous. Let's see, where's the initiative order? No, that's somewhere. Here we go. Shawshank. Kephalos.
So my goal, the Iron Golem, will move up next to Patterson's Fire Elemental.
Okay.
I will move around to basically like a 90 degrees to it around its side.
All right.
So that way I'm still in range of everybody, but I'm not like in the same, if the dragon was to breathe, I'm not in the same area.
Got it.
And I will smack the dragon with my hammer.
Okay.
That is a 32 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. That one will also, I will cast, as a bonus action, I will cast Searing Smite at 4th level.
I better use these spell slots before this thing's over.
Well, I mean, it's going to be 3d10, 2d8, 4d6 plus a d8 plus 11.
And a
So
partridge in a
yeah,
pear tree.
exactly. So the hammer itself will do 18 bludgeoning damage,
Okay.
and then it will do 40 fire damage on top of that.
Okay.
And then the golem will make his 2 hits,
All right.
and that's a 15 for one,
To hit or for damage?
and no, to hit,
Okay, no, 15 doesn't get it done.
and a 22 to hit.
Yes.
Okay, that'll hit. So that's 3d10. So that's 13 plus 7. So that's 20 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, so this Dracolich is really considering the last 1,000 or so years it has sat and waited for this golem to show up, and when it does, it thinks it's on easy street, and yeah, no. All right, Laraunce, the last to go in the round.
Okay.
Clearly, needless to say, it's not doing well.
We're going to start with the genie.
Okay.
He's going to make 3 scimitar attacks.
All right.
The lowest one is 16.
Yeah, 16 doesn't get it done.
19.
19 does.
Okay, so he's going to get hit twice. And it's going to be... I'm just going to roll all the dice. It's going to be 6 dice total. 66 damage. Plus 10. 15, 25, 27, 31 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Plus 2 more d6 of, let's do thunder damage. 8 thunder damage.
All right.
And the genie's going to stay where he is. Laraunce is going to use, this has no casting time, which is Summon Fey. So I'm going to create a small Fey spirit, or summon a small Fey spirit that is going to immediately, actually, that's gonna occur after my turn. The Fey spirit will go. Laraunce is still in big boy form from the other end of the room, going to fire a somewhat larger short bow blast, and he's going to cast, what's the spell that goes with this? He's going to use a bonus action to cast lightning arrow. So the next time you make a ranged spell attack, it's going to deal an extra 48 lightning damage on a hit. So that's going to be the first arrow attack.
All right.
That is going to hit. It's a 15 on the die plus 7.
Okay.
So I'll do the lightning damage first. 4d8 lightning damage. It's going to be 14 lightning damage. I rolled 2 ones on that.
Okay.
And each creature within 10 feet of the target must make a dexterity saving throw. So that's going to be not Laraunce, he's on the other end of the room. It's going to be the Fey Spirit, it's going to be the Genie, it's going to be anyone else who's in melee combat with the Dracolich. Needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
You said dexterity?
How big of it? How big is it?
Anything with
The
it.
radius?
Within 10 feet of the Dracolich.
All right. Well, I'm just saying it's pretty big, so I would be like, if you're on one side, I was just saying I'm on the other side, so I'm trying to.
That's the part that fucks you,
Yeah,
is that because it's so
this.
big, there's a lot of people that are going to be within 10 feet of it.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, but we're all hardy folk
Okay.
here. No
Yeah.
one's been smacked around.
So
that
what
much.
was it again? Sorry.
Dexterity saving
Dex
throw.
save. Okay.
And let me know if you don't hit a 15.
The elemental failed
I
it.
don't hit a 15.
You're going to take more damage from a party member than you are from me.
Yeah.
The elemental, yeah, he failed it too.
Anyone who failed it is going to take 13 lightning damage. Half as much on anyone who succeeds it is going to take 7 lightning damage.
Does that include the Dracolich?
No, the
Okay.
Dracolich took 48 lightning damage when it got hit.
Okay. So yes, it did.
Yeah, 48. Okay. So Laraunce is going to.
You say it takes 13 damage?
On a fail, 13. On a success, 7.
All right.
I think I may have killed the fey creature, the fey spirit, immediately.
Hi, welcome. You're dead. Okay, so this dragon getting shot by lightning, and as the kind of electricity arcs from the Dracolich to other members of the party, you're going to kind of realize in the back of the crypt there is another set of stairs that the golem has disappeared down, and all you can see is the kind of radiant blue light in an enclosed space that emanates from its chest while the Dracolich is still kind of doing its thing.
Wasn't the golem in the resilient sphere?
Can it not move?
It can use its action to push against it, and it goes up half of its speed. It's at half speed.
Okay, so it's going to be making its way down the stairs. Just kind of in its cold, persistent determination. The dragon is once again going to, in a kind of mode of desperation, rear back and blast its lightning for anybody directly in front of him, which will be at least Shawshank and a couple of y'all's pets. For everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Ooh. Hey, not 20. Oh no, I think I clicked it twice. The first one was it 24?
22 for the elemental.
Okay.
That's a 1 for mine.
All right.
Sorry, what are we rolling for?
Dexterity saving throw.
Thank you.
Anybody who did not achieve a 20 will take 66 lightning damage, and anybody who succeeded will take 33 plus whatever mitigation they have on top of it.
Standing next to the fire elemental gives you fire damage, correct?
Me, I don't know if...
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know if the elemental is one of those things where everything starts. I don't think it does. Not the summoned ones.
Okay. I'm just trying to get an idea.
Yeah. So that's everybody for the lightning damage.
Did anybody take that full damage?
Yes.
Yeah, Kephalos did.
Then I would like to use my channel divinity option, Rebuke the Violent, to force the Dracolich to make a wisdom saving throw. The DC for this is 18.
Okay.
He would take 66 radiant damage on a fail, or half as much on a success.
After you cast, this is a reaction, I take it?
This is a reaction.
Okay. Upon seeing the cleric take a real blast of lightning damage, you cast this spell, and from within, it's a skull, so it's somewhat hollow if not animated. You see this kind of bright light kind of begin to burn inside its head, coming out through the missing eye. And as it kind of grows brighter and brighter and brighter, it eventually causes the Dracolich's head to explode. Its body, slumping down, limp, and after everything kind of comes to, that gaseous breath of like heavy weight crushing on the thing, you hear the golem kind of clumsily making its way down the stairs, and a just instant blue flash kind of shows and then fades away, as does the kind of ambient blue light that the golem has had since you kind of awakened it. So at the far end of the room, there's another stairwell, and you've heard the golem kind of roughly tumble down the stairs, and a big blue flash of light, and now no light emanates from the golem. And the Dracolich is dead.
No light
No light.
emanates.
Morlok goes over to the Dracolich's corpse and puts some of its bits into his bag of holding.
Don't worry about me, y'all.
Specifically teeth and claws.
Mind your business. So yeah, you guys gonna follow the golem downstairs?
Yeah, towards
Yep.
the light. At least towards the last part of the light, as I
I'm
saw.
gonna let the fire elemental lead the way.
Okay. As you make your way down the stairs, the once blue light from the chest of the golem that was kind of lighting the way has been replaced by the sudden smell of newly lit torches. And as you kind of come down the stairs, maybe a little bit of the, kind of neck craning action, you see a giant sarcophagus in the middle of the floor, and the golem seated on the ground, just as it was when you found it. It's still animated, but the light isn't glowing anymore, and the lid to a sarcophagus that looks easily manageable by somebody with some decent heft.
How far away is it?
If you come down the stairs, it's probably about 40 feet to the sarcophagus, probably 30 feet to where the golem popped a squat.
Could I have with the fly speed of 90, like zipped over to where the sarcophagus is?
Yeah. It's a very ornate kind of resting place, befitting of the kind of structure that you're in. There are many kind of painted runes across the very well appointed and kind of ornate sarcophagus. The symbol that you've seen on the kind of center of the golem's chest adorns the lid to the sarcophagus.
Do I have time for an action?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna reach into my pouch and take out a movable rod, just put it on top of the lid of the sarcophagus and click it in place.
Okay.
Nice.
And then try and get out of there. I don't know if this thing is still gonna like burst through or what.
Okay. The golem, aware of your presence, stands back up, realizes it hasn't left you, and it instantly goes to try to... Alright, so I get it. Because of the rod, I can't slide the lid off, right?
I guess you wouldn't be able to like push it up.
Okay.
Like if you needed, yeah.
Alright, so nothing can get out. Could the golem slide the lid to the side?
Like, I guess it depends on what the lid is like, right? Like if there's like a lip, something that would prevent it from moving, then,
Okay.
then no. But a DC 30 strength check would be able to move it.
And then if I can't open the lid from underneath, and I can't push the lid like from the side. Can I move the whole sarcophagus? Like I said, we're really getting into like Thor's hammer here. This is the elevator lifts Thor's hammer. Could the golem push the sarcophagus, the entire thing?
Yes, because the
yes,
rod
I
would
think,
stay
yeah.
in place and the
Okay,
sarcophagus
and-
would move from underneath it.
Yes, and the same thing with the lid. In essence, if I wanted to, the rod would stay still, and I can push the lid out from underneath it.
If there's no lip holding the lid, yeah. Like if the lid's just sitting on
If
top.
it's not
then
like
yeah.
I got you.
embossed in it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if it's literally just like a lid, on, like just a cover.
A slate of stone.
Okay.
on
Yeah,
top
yeah.
of-
So the golem is going to, seeing your arrival down the stairs, it's going to once again kind of carve itself into, an approximation of a smile for a golem. And it's going to look at you, Shawshank in particular, as it tries to push the lid off and is unable to.
Guys, what do we want to do here?
Morlok comes back after doing his collections. He finally catches up and says, "Why are we hiding things in a sarcophagus? Why are we preventing the sarcophagus from being opened?"
I don't know,
I
but
might
that's
make
what
a
we're
friend.
doing. I directed the fire elemental to attack the golem.
I have no qualms about destroying this mechanical construct.
The golem just kind of takes it for the most part, as the fire elemental just kind of beats on it, and it's kind of smiling, at least moderate happy expression goes to a sad one as it once again looks Shawshank in the eyes and tries to push the lid off.
I'm gonna direct the elemental to try to like push the lid the other direction.
Can keep it from.
Yeah, like whatever. If it's trying to push the lid one way, it'll get on the other side and push it the other way.
Okay.
Something's in there, yeah?
Yeah.
Like trying to...
Well, something is in there.
Yeah.
Morlok is
You
going
know
to play
that.
with his bugs while you all are in conflict.
I don't understand what the problem is. Open the damn thing up, y'all.
I think eventually we're gonna have to deal with it. So I think now we should just heal up as much as we can, get ready, and then let whatever is in there out. And I think we should be good, right?
Okay.
Like I said, I'll even give you guys a short rest if you want it. If the lid's not moving anywhere, yeah.
I don't feel by this golem's reaction that the thing inside the sarcophagus would be against us.
Is it maybe is maybe the artifact in the sarcophagus, and it's the golem is the key to open the sarcophagus and get us the artifact that we're after?
That's true. Yeah, we
Could
were.
be that easy.
But I just don't want to take any chances. I guess.
I mean,
Wait, don't you have divine sense? Or
Yeah.
someone has divine sense.
I do.
Danger. You should have to detect evil.
Laraunce speaks up and says, "I'm happy to take my time. If we need to rest,
Yeah.
we should rest."
All right. You guys are gonna take a real good minute to reconsider. Take your short rest, and the entire time you debate, the golem with its kind of sad face continues to look at Shawshank as it just continuously, just as it has since it kind of awoke, just been sheer determination to achieve one thing. And now this thing is to open this lid of the sarcophagus.
Gotcha. Man. Yeah, I mean, if we're all good, I give everyone a quick, I mean, not quick, but the 10-minute, whatever, temp HP
Okay.
shit, same as the beginning. And and then we let it out.
All right. So you take the rod off, and even before it is fully clear, the golem slides the sarcophagus lid off, and it's going to be up on stream. Inside, you find a body, exceptionally well preserved, as if the same magic that had preserved the life of the Dracolich guarding the tomb had also preserved the life of that which was inside. There will be a book sitting, essentially right here on the chest of the body, and a large ornate tube with arcane runes all over the side of it, also within the sarcophagus. As the golem pushes the lid off, it opens its chest and pulls out the ruby, puts it on the chest of the body, and both of them just kind of dissolve into dust and are carried off by the wind, leaving a leather-bound book and the scroll tube inside of the sarcophagus.
Morlok says, I was going to get another assistant.
This one was important.
Yeah, man.
Get my coffee, Your Majesty.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic on the tube and the book.
Okay. The book is going to come back as I'm gonna guess enchantment magic is what you're gonna get from it, and then the tube is going to be a very almost blinding sense of enchantment magic.
The book, was that what? That's what we were looking for.
The scroll.
Yeah, the scroll.
In the tube. The book is kind of a new thing. Okay. The charming wizard did not tell you anything about a book. You're there for
Is there
a
a title
scroll.
on the book or in the binding?
It just appears to be in an ancient script, and a lot of it seems to be kind of a codex of Netherese spells.
Morlok will reach for it to try to, take it for keeps.
I swat that hand away.
Anyone have a
He just kind of goes back to sulking. He doesn't say anything. He just kind of turns away, sulking.
Now, I'm not saying you can't look at it, right?
anyone
It's
here
just
recognize this tube? It's a pretty unique looking object.
Anybody who has any kind of knowledge of the arcane would know that these were kind of the spell saves of the day for the Netherese, that they would write a powerful spell, and this is a kind of secure vessel for them to store it in.
I'm gonna hit it with a Dispel Magic.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit both the scroll and the book with the Dispel Magic.
Okay.
3rd level.
If he's holding both of those, the scroll and the book, I want to say book room 4.
Okay. As you kind of grab everything, you are magically teleported back to the same reading room. It takes a moment for your eyes to adjust to regular lighting, and the wizard, Algernon, pops right in. Oh, you're back, and you've done it. And he kind of reaches his head out the door and screams something, and a large kind of commotion takes place outside of the room, in which 3 kind of very armored and well appointed guards kind of come in, march in orderly. We'll be taking that scroll now if you don't mind. And they put their hands out and wait for it to be handed to them.
Hey guys, do you think it's about time for that command word?
They already did it. You guys are back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're back. They're basically asking for you to turn it over at this point.
Vegemite.
Oh yeah.
Who picked it up?
It was
Yeah, Patterson was going to do it to do dispel
I
magic.
just did dispel magic
Yeah.
just in case there was any traps on it.
Yeah.
And I enacted the words to bring us back.
The second he picked him up. So like I said, you guys just kind of appear. Nothing happened when you took a hold of them, and the kind of militarized guard of Candlekeep seems pretty expectant of what is in that tube.
Let's open the tube.
I would greatly argue against that, good sir.
It makes me want to open the tube more.
Morlok kind of like nods his head. Yeah.
The wizards are going to get out of the room, and they are going to say anybody who does not want the effects of this spell scroll, should it be removed from its safety, I would suggest you leave the room now.
I run out of the room with the scroll.
Hey.
No, I don't really do that. No. I don't know what we should do. I kind of want to see what this scroll does. What do you guys think?
I didn't
think-
go through all this trouble just to rescue something and never learn what it was.
Look, if you guys really care about it that much, you can use your wish spell on it. I think we should hand it over.
I want my wish. I'm leaving this room. I suggest you do the same.
All right. Since anybody feels strongly about it, I'll hand it over.
Okay. Very well. Algernon kind of waves his hands over it, and his eyes kind of roll back into his head, and he nods to the guards, who kind of close in a real tight formation and escort the scroll out of the room. Very, very well done. You come very highly recommended, and rightly so. And I would imagine it is now time for your payment. Anybody who would like to go first, I would be happy to hear them. And we thank you for the, finding of this ancient artifact that we could not let sit in that desert any longer. So you have Candlekeep's greatest appreciation, and I will take anybody who has a wish for me.
Morlok steps up. He says, I wish for knowledge. I wrote it down. I wish for knowledge on how Vecna ascended to godhood, so that we may learn how to gain power groveling that of the gods.
He ponders it for a second. Well, Master Necromancer, as long as you understand that knowledge will never be allowed to leave this room, this library, but in your head. And he's gonna snap his fingers, and he was like, if you will proceed to Candlekeep reading room number 3, there will be the tome that Vecna studied to achieve godhood that we keep here in the archives. You may copy nothing, you may write nothing, but you may read it. And he's going to kind of show Morlok the door, if he would like to leave and go read the book that Vecna used.
He gives the party a big, another rotten smile before he turns around and walks through the door.
Okay. Who's next for their wish?
Kephalos will stand up and I wish to go home. I've been trapped here for some time and I do believe it is time for me to return.
You have served this realm and this library well for your years of service as our smith. Consider this your last task and take this with you. And it is an unwritten book of the gospel of Perforos that they discovered once. Only but the highest clerics of this god have even seen this book. The same as with Master Morlok, you may read it, you may not copy, and you may not leave it. But this, we believe, is the truest word of your God. And he offers, by the open door, a chance. Candlekeep reading room number 2. Finish your book, and when you are ready, we will send you home.
I don't even go to read the book. I'm just ready to go home. I just beckon to be just summoned. And the golem follows with me.
Okay. We thank you for your many years of service as both our smith and in this endeavor. May your future be bright. And it snaps, and you and the golem are gone instantly. Who's next?
Laraunce chimes in. He says, "Your definition of wish is funny, but if all you have to offer is more reading, I'll be on my way."
Is there no subject to which the total accumulation of the knowledge on the subject may change your mind?
I have spent several years now traveling, looking for the answers that I seek. More years than I can count. More years than you'll maybe live. If I haven't found the answer, then it certainly doesn't lie here.
Very well. They say the wise man truly knows that they do not know it all, but will seek forever to find the answers to their questions. We thank you for your service, and we wish you the best of luck. However, should questions ever cloud your mind and leave your future uncertain, return with this. And he presents this gold, like feather quill. This will allow you readmittance into the archives so that maybe one day the last piece of information will be here within these walls. And he hands it to Laraunce.
I accept that offer, and will keep your city in mind if to bring clarity if that fog ever does descend upon my head.
Very well. We live to shine light into the darkness of ignorance. What about you, my sorceress friend? The temptation to read the scroll high on your mind? What the prospects of what sated your curiosity?
Yeah, I wanted to read the scroll.
Without expending your reward, I will tell you that It is a spell that we have intentionally hidden away, that the Netherese hid away. For its use is the reason why the Netherese no longer exist.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
Is there still a wish you wish to have fulfilled?
I'll take one of those feathers,
Very well.
and then I'll that'll be it for me.
Okay. It gives you your feather. May our brightness shine light into the darkness of ignorance. And you, our majestic paladin friend, what is it that the library may provide for you?
Now I wish for Morlok to be illiterate.
That is not fair.
You're gone, bro.
Hell of a wish right there,
It's
dog.
like that, like, you're
That's a
just
hell
gonna-
of a wish.
you're gonna hear him
Hey,
in the
oh,
room.
now that everybody's gone, yeah, I want to fuck his. I want
You're
to
gonna
fuck
hear
his
him in the
world
other
up.
room go, what the hell?
A smile. He didn't kill the bugs.
I
He
wish to
just-
just monkey paw every day.
You
Um,
can do it. You're just gonna have to read for 3 hours to figure out how to get it done. And
um,
well, I might
so
be gone by then.
I think.
the wizard has a clever little chuckle, and he says, "We have given him not all the information he needs. That is still unavailable. His curiosity will be satisfied, but nothing will come of it. But I do appreciate you looking out for the well-beings of not only the library, but the realm as well. A true paladin indeed."
I was kind of surprised that you guys were like, "Oh yeah, here, go ahead and read what he wrote." Like, that was good.
Hey, man, they're just keepers of the knowledge. What everybody does with it, that's
Yeah,
their own business.
Look, I
They're
just hold on to
keepers of the knowledge.
it. I just can't lose it. It needs to be right there on that shelf every day. Is there anything I may grant you,
Yeah,
noble paladin? Even in a moment of selfishness, you choose to act selflessly for the benefit of others.
I mean, if I can make a selfish wish, I want to make my mom and dad proud. They were both adventurers, like really good ones, and I always feel like I'm in their shadow. So if I can, find out how to be better adventurers than they were, or maybe help more people, or something like that.
He kind of ponders for a second, and as far as you're concerned, turns his back and comes back with a book that has your name on the top of it, and the title is The Epic Tales of Shawshank. And he hands you the book and kind of motions for you to open
You
it.
got your own book.
Heck yeah! Thank you.
Upon opening the book, he's going to make kind of a little point, and you are going to notice that the authors are your parents, and the contents of the book is all of your exploits in 2 volumes. One, a kind of truthful and accurate retelling of your deeds, and one, the kind of Flavor Flav hype man killed 3 Cyclopses by himself kind of a thing.
Oh man.
Both of them written in a very reverent and loving tone, as parents would be wont to do. He's going to point to the kind of back third of the book and acknowledge, as you can see, much like your life, this book is unwritten. But these enchantments that will fill in these pages will be written by the spirits of your parents as they watch all of your noble deeds. He's going to look around. Well, adventurers, those of you who are left, we appreciate all of this. We hope to see you in the future, and should we have any major adventuring needs, we hope that we can call upon you to serve Candlekeep and the realm. I thank you for everything that you have done, and I hope that your payment was worth the effort that you've extolled. And with that, we will conclude our level 15 one-shot, Alkazaar's Apprentice. So, yeah, bravo, you guys. That was...
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, that was great.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, I say this every week. Thanks, you guys, for coming out. So, yeah, level 15 one-shot. Like I said, went a little over, but that's how it was supposed to go.
Not too late.
Yeah. Look, seriously, huge thanks to everybody who came out and watched tonight. An even bigger thank you to these fine gentlemen who came out here to play, knowing that this thing was probably going to be a disaster, and I hope they had a hell of a lot of fun. So, before we get out of here, we will get the characters to introduce the fabulous role players behind them for the evening. And we will start with Shawshank. Tell us about Porter.
Oh man, Porter, he's a pretty good guy. You know, he likes to play Dungeons and Dragons. He's a DM for 2 groups of his own, and he tries to, you know, do what Manny here does, and yeah, just likes to spread joy to the world and all that goodness.
Awesome.
Ruin other people's wishes.
Yeah. Awesome. And so, this is your first time playing with us. I hope you had a great time. I had a great time meeting and playing with you for the first time, and I hope we get to see you again doing this. All right, let's move on to the kind of regular casting. Let's go to our intrepid, curious artificer, who is not at all what he played tonight. Just like Tenta and Dustin when they played in these, went completely off from their usual characters. So, Morlok, the creepy fucking wizard, tell us about our boy Landon.
So, Landon is a software developer. He loves Dungeons and Dragons. 9 times out of 10, he will play a optimistic, you know, fun character. A lot of times, comedic relief, the actors, I'm honest. But I managed to kind of bring that in there with Morlok. You know, Morlok, he was kind of evil, but I couldn't be an evil character. I had to make it creepy, funny. I have a wife and 2 Saint Bernards. They are my family and I love them. And anything with like medieval games or anything like that, like Final Fantasy, I love them. So that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Hey, buddy. Thanks for coming out on Wednesday night, even though you and I played together yesterday. I really appreciate it. I'm
just glad I survived yesterday.
Yeah, that could have gone sideways. All right. Let's go to the other member of our Tuesday crew now that they've all cycled through One Shot Wednesdays, and also my business partner in this endeavor. Kephalos, tell us about Lewis.
I am Lewis. I am a catering chef by day, a husband and father of 2 wonderful little girls, and super excited to have been a part of this. This was a lot of fun. I had an amazing time with everybody. I hope y'all had an amazing time. And yeah, I hope we all can do this again, for sure.
Awesome. All right, let's go back to our last new player. Patterson, tell us about Nick. Kind of a cool thing, just a sorcerer that hung out and had a fire elemental.
Yeah. So Nick I'm fairly new to Dungeons and Dragons. I've done just a handful of one-shots now. Only one in real life. That was years ago. But yeah, I've been getting into it here recently. I am a cartographer by trade, but I am currently out of work. And I've just been kind of filling up my time with stuff like this.
Awesome. Well, like I said, we're going to be running this for a while. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool thing. I plan on joining in
whenever I can.
Yeah, and it's kind of taken off a little more than I thought it would. So, like, I've had a lot of fun with this, meeting new people and just kind of doing, something a little less serious than my long-term campaign. So, for the first time, I thank you for kind of just rolling with it and being like, yeah, this idiot wants to play Dungeons and Dragons. I guess I'll go play with him. So, thanks for coming out, man. It was a lot of fun. I hope
it's a lot of fun.
It's good. And we will close up with our Wednesday regular. Tim, who joined us for the Wedding Veil for this, and will be with us next week too. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
Okay.
Still plan
Awesome.
to be there next week.
Our Wednesday regular.
Yeah, my name's Tim. I have a day job, but I love to play games when I'm not at work. Video games, board games, D&D. I've been playing for probably a little over a decade now. Been playing pretty regularly since then, off and on. But I'm also trying to run games. I'm running a Waterdeep Dragon Heist right now on Tuesdays, and I'm going to start running Sunless Citadel on Thursday nights. Actually, if anyone wants in on that game, you can hit me up. My Twitter's up above. We're going to be doing Session 0 tomorrow night. Happy to be here. Manny, you've been great. I really like the pace of your games, at least these one-shots where really just kind of cut through some of the BS that people get bogged down with, and we get right to the real fun stuff. And even the role play has been pretty fun, and figuring out ways to squeeze in a little bit of character in between the crunchy combat has been enjoyable too. So I'm looking forward to next week.
Thanks, man. The opportunities for roleplay to kind of fit in where they do it's basically all you guys for taking this time and seeing where it fits and for it to really work. And it, for a bunch of people who don't know each other or haven't played together aside from Landon and Lewis, and same thing with last week, you guys are great, which is just a testament to how good of a group of players you guys are individually and collectively. Those have been our amazing players. Couldn't do this without them. I'm Manny at GrowedUpGeek on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. On Tuesday nights, we play our long-term persistent campaign, Twilight Malediction, Rime of the Frost Maiden. Wednesday nights, we do one-shot Wednesdays here. Like I said, a lot of fun. Next week is the Book of the Raven, a level 3 or 4, I don't remember, one-shot written by Christopher Perkins. So that's going to be a lot of fun. He's one of my favorite D&D people around currently. Thanks to everybody who came out. Thanks to my amazing players for this evening. I hope that we get to do this again. And so until next Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. and then Wednesday, 7 o'clock p.m., both Eastern time, we will see you again. Thanks for coming out, and have a great night, everybody.
Thanks.